Facing off, and listen, last time we got to cast these boys, Tom, it was a fun cast. I had a good time, and I'm expecting no different here today.
Yeah, although if Fnatic does well in the first two maps, the series ends.
It will be done.
So it's not a best of 5 this time, but we'll have to see. I think both teams coming in with their own strengths. I was definitely intrigued by what we get out of the map veto, where each side would go, whether Lotus would make it through, even though it's looked decent at times for Heretics. We know the level that Fnatic brings, and for Fracture, well, in the past, this would be a dream veto for Fnatic, but as of recently, this map's looked very good for Heretics. That, though, not the best start.
No, that's a player we're going to highlight throughout this series. Koshmaris has had out an incredible uptick. You heard it in the interview with Benji earlier on as well, how quickly he adapted to the team. But to start out this map, he'll be put to bed. Deleted as the old guard of Team Heretics realize the B side is wide open, and they'll rotate into position, but not in time. Smoke's already down, and it looks like Heretics will be locked out into a post plant.
Yeah, the Molly's going to hold them back. Won't be available for the post, but Fnatic clearly a little bit more wary about the retake. Beginning before, Sivov's aggression, though, immediately punished. He was meant to be this sort of distractor instead, turning back to a 4v4.
Benji's watching their back, waiting for Alpha to round that corner, and he's made steps now. They know right where he is. They'll just smoke off and move to the site where Boaster now stands alone, not even on the site, in fact. So a bit of a problem when it comes to that defuse, because they're tucked in the corner. They've planted for main, but failed to hold control. And as a result, Fnatic will lose the pistol round. The defuse puts Heretics 1-0 up.
Yeah, great start from Rians as well. And I think we've spoken about this a lot in the recent few weeks, is that Rians has had some incredible games. The joke was that every time he plays against Foot, he just becomes a god. But we've been seeing it more and more. His individual confidence, that prime coming back.
No, last. Nice! Guys, nice!
And then a round where, realistically, you go a man down and you have to play a full retake in a pistol round. I'll be honest, I thought it would be a little bit more difficult than that. They made it look quite easy.
It certainly should have been, yeah. I think Fnatic laid the foundations for a very strong round, but Rian's really lengthening the lists of teams that he's going to have those big performances up against. And that trip not caught. The Prowler went right past it. It's up a little bit higher. And if Crashy's left, that's information for free. And also less indication for them as to, where that trip's going to be in the buy rounds. Tries to sneak his way past, won't make it, and all the while, it's a massacre in main. When Crashies eventually makes it here, they know all about him thanks to that trip, and it looks like just dotting the I's and crossing the T's here for Heretics. An almost flawless round. Alpha able to throw in a bit of a wrench into the works, but no love lost and no weapon lost really for Heretics as well. That pistol on Rienz who's rotating through. Alpha's going to need to do a little bit more if he wants to make this costly.
Yeah. I think they want Rians to get the kill. I think that's why, other than the risk of Alpha, he stopped fighting. Just because when he only has a pistol, but also Rians is the closest in terms of orbs to actually getting his ultimate online. Now for Alpha, it's getting to the point where death might be the point of call. And well, I guess both players end up getting the orb that they wanted. They'll even retrieve the extra weaponry, but maybe not quite.
Yeah, last second call to pick it up was quite fortunate, or the Bulldog would go as well. Indeed, a judge and a pistol, I think, is all that's going to be lost. Certainly not the end of the world, nothing to cry about. Then yeah, Alpha, solid individual. Job, of course, he can show up for a bit of damage towards the end, but the key thing is how dominant it was before that, how clean it was. That's what we like to see. Heretics playing a tight game. Now the challenge as they come in with a pistol and an SMG, but still, those rifles, they won't be pulling any punches. Fnatic approaching it with numbers. Look at this north side push 3 about to round the corner. And Koshmaris, that's 3 rounds in a row that he has put in the dirt.
Oh, Benji just about got out of there. Good usage of the cage meant he couldn't really do too much, and Pack has dealt with Benji as well immediately. Well, I was going to say they deal with this, but yeah, Rian's just Cool. Yeah, just a little bit of
Get outta
spam.
here.
He is the only player earning orbs other than via deaths. He's one away from his ult, but he'll get it online. I don't think he's going to use it in this scenario unless there are some crazy mistakes out of the Fnatic post plant.
You got loads of players with rifles there. Koshmaris getting a 0-3 on the board after that initial fight. I think he was the only real rifle. I'm not including the Bulldogs. Bulldog 1v1's on site. Nothing works. Everything goes the way of Fnatic. And then the Ghost just pops a few shots through the smoke, of course. Rienz is having quite a game. It's quite a series of games indeed. We'll see if that keeps up, because of course, they couldn't continue in this round. Fnatic out-armed and outplayed their opposition for 2-1.
Yeah. Good response. I think these are the sort of rounds as well where, especially with the lower weaponry, you can get caught out by a little bit of the aggression. It still had to be perfect, even with the reveals from Rienz, and then Alpha there to keep it.
Nice, boys. Come on, boys.
Fairly
6
clean.
shots. Oh my god, my foot is itching.
It's also worth noting as well, we saw a moment ago that this map is only 58% attack sided, but for Heretics, it hasn't been. They have been dominating on their defensive side, and Fnatic, the one map they played it was a 9-3 attack. So it seems we have both teams starting on their favored side from what we've seen so far this stage. And for Alpha, too many targets.
Yeah, you say that, there's a world where he gets them both. I feel like that's the world we live in most of the time.
Yeah, there's many worlds. There's most of the time he gets both.
This time punished, and Fnatic forced to readjust. No control over the south side of the map. And so again, the death ball, the numbers comes into play. Worked phenomenally last time. It was Koshmaris to lose his life early on Dish. But this time they moved to the B side, and that means the challenge is Wood. And I was gonna say, you know, it's tough to catch him lacking, but they've caught him off guard. Benji's now surrounded and soon to be dealt with. Somehow deals with Sivov, even blinded up, but pressure from all sides, and finally he will fall, but the damage is well and truly done.
Yeah, fair play. Just bear in mind, you weren't muted just because of something on the broadcast. That was purely because he was hit by that Nightfall. He was guessing where they were going to push from and got it right on both occasions. I thought especially the slide out from Kayak would have caught him. Instead, though, it's going to be Crashes and a clutch. Now, Boo is close enough. He should very quickly be able to make the call for his teammates to rotate in. I like the fact that Crashes has actually been able to get an open plant. Gives him way more opportunities, but he's walking into the cross. As a player watching this angle, Boo just sat there waiting. Koshmaris almost sacrificed to the wolves again. And a nice attempt on the reaction shot from Crashes. But Boo, I think maybe a little bit further out than he expected.
Yeah, it was a really nice attempt indeed. You could see the idea behind it. But in the end, not to be. Kosh getting on the board. Again, he's had 3 tough rounds, 2 where he was picked off right at barrier up. But the story wasn't just about him, because his rotation in a position to cover off that push through to the site gave Benji that little bit of security to play with, a little bit of trade-ups. Stacked the numbers heavily against their opponent, but yeah, Benji was definitely the one drawing your eye. What a phenomenal hold from him up top. How he got the first, because that blind hit, he had an adjustment to make there, alongside, as you said, before that, being hit by the Nightfall, having no sound, and yet still playing like he knew everything.
Yeah, even shooting the Prowler in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all just reactions, but it's nicely played. Of course, 4 players survived in the round before for Fnatic, so financially still in a pretty good position. 1 off getting the overdrive as well for Kayak. His role will just be to try and get the entry off the back of Sivov's ult. The burst, though, relatively easy to clear. That Judge has got rid of 1, and actually, Boast has gone down just off the back of the nade. Yeah, it was the stun from Koshmaris as well. It just kept them in position. That's so nicely done. As you said, the last round from Benji, it was all reactions, and this was the same. There's no way that you can calm that quickly. Everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet. That's what you like to see. Fnatic, a man down, and no control. They at least move towards the north side of B, but Benji has slipped through underneath, and they have no idea of the snake slithering in the grass right behind them. Benji! He won't get 3, but the round, it's already theirs. Clean as can be from Heretics, and we might see a pause from Fnatic soon. This is not going according to plan. No, I think just seeing some of the individual reactions that are coming out from Heretics, like they get that early fight, they delay, they slow things down, but on the other side, it's not like players are just sitting there pretty. They take additional space, ready for that backstab. In fact, you can see him piece everything together the second they tap that orb. That's when Benji knows he's got them locked in. Rest of the players are already waiting on the site. And while for Heretics, again, like a round place team, but if you're second place worldwide, that probably means you're the best team in your region.
Yeah, I think that's a
unless maybe you're from
guess.
Pacific, and then sometimes that will mean that you're like top 3.
Yeah. Well, a 4-1 scoreline for Heretics, and we've just had a pause from Fnatic. This is where they need the winds of change to blow in their favor. With 1:20 on the clock, it seems like some of that early fighting will be given up on the group towards B main, but Heretics having a similar idea. And it looked for a second like Rian's wanted to push up, and it's a good job he didn't. Woot just found out the hard way that Fnatic's coming.
They have still got, well, I was going to say 3 players, but never mind. Seavolf has woken up, and now it's going to have to be some risky plays from Boom Rians, and, well, the risks did not pay off. It leaves Kosmaris left. Of course, he's going to be willing to throw this sniper in. Just an attempt to do as much damage as possible. Of course, this was a hefty investment from the side of Fnatic. If he can even take a couple away, that will hold value, but a huge round seemingly locked in from them already.
I think a big part of this is that early game, acknowledging that Heretics have had so much control over the map early. You think about the round before when Benji was down below. Fnatic rotated back from the A site, moved towards B main, and Benji managed to stab them at the back because they gave that space up so early. So this time Alpha is putting his utility across the map. Playing that north side to start, seeing if there's aggression, seeing if someone from Heretics gets curious, and when they don't, just group up and hit the site together. It's simple, but it's effective.
Yeah, I think as well with like commonly A aggression in the early stages of the round, something Heretics like to do, be it on that south or north side. So just maybe thinking, okay, we haven't seen much of that towards B. That's a freer spot that we're not going to find immediate resistance, especially with the double duelist on the defense. You kind of have to be getting aggressive somewhere. I think it's also one where it's harder for the defense to fight. Like you might do the same towards the north side of B, but the south side of B, it's risky if there's a lot of players waiting there.
You can see Alpha's going to break that trip towards A. And this is good information for Fnatic. They've heard the push up in A main. Now they go to A dish, break the trip there. Your opponents still think the hit's coming in. Numbers still on that side, but no overreaction. Heretics still keep 2 players on that B side. Benji, who was so easily dealt with in the previous round. A random shot through the smoke. Well, he stands close to that smoke. In fact, he stands in that smoke himself and Woot. How far will they go? Content with the control they have, or wanting a little more? It's been re-smoked, but they've caught Crashies and then swung into Kayak. A beautiful setup from Heretics. A little bit of aggression sprinkled in, and it's given them the upper hand.
Well, that's the thing, they're still worried that this smoke might have some deep control. They can't risk running through it, and they're being pincered in from behind. They're slowly being closed in on, and they've only got 25 seconds. They've got nowhere left to go. Boo's even starting to think like, okay, I could just end this round with my ultimate. I'm going to hold it for a second or 2, and they don't clear that back corner. Benji once again. He has been phenomenal on this B site, be it in the tower or be it hidden in the corner.
And when you get that first kill in the smoke, when Woot takes Crashies down, that's where there's a decision. Do we run away? And Woot was going to. He put the blast back down. He wanted to get out. But the second Woot dies, Benji says, I've got to strike, I've got to trade, and he gets in there. That's Benji's round, and it's Team Heretics with a 5th on the board. Fnatic, well, they've got 1 timeout left in this map, and it looks like they still need solutions.
Yeah, that was brutal. It's a direct adaptation to their opponents in the last round as well. Literally shutting down the position they had success on. Again, a piece or 2 missing for Fnatic if they lose this round economically in the bin, and a chance for Heretics to run away with this one. And Benji once again sits within this B site. He has been difficult to clear.
He's going to go through the volley as well. He's caught them off, but the shots don't land. Boaster and Crashies able to pull this into an advantage, and now a plant can be found as well. Heretics putting numbers on that south side, but now they split as well. Boo comes north. That's the orbital strike. I don't know the idea, the intention here, but with Nightfall, Orbital Strike, and indeed the finger guns already out, it's going to be a lot thrown at Fnatic for now, though nothing hits. They're keeping that Heaven control, and Kayak will not be pushed out of position on site there. It's looking like an impossible round now. That first wave, that burst of ultimates, finding nothing, it leaves them so far on the back foot that I'm surprised they're even still trying. Weapons being thrown away, they've got the credits, I suppose, but even then, Rienz is starting to second guess it, but doesn't get a choice.
Yeah. Oh, really nice round from Crashies, but also, I'm not sure who it was in that moment where there's an orbital strike going off, a load of other utility, who is spamming through the orbital strike, but whoever did that, I think, helped out Kayak massively, because it just clips Koshmaris enough that he starts to doubt something. He's like, oh, am I still open to this other angle? And just hesitates enough that I feel like that kill comes a lot easier to Kayak and they're able to hold on to everything. As you said, a massive ult dump for Heretics. There's a lot of opportunities, but yet to see it just yet in this match. But already, as said, like for Heretics, the expectation is for them to have a fairly strong defensive half, and the same for Fnatic from what we've seen on this attack. Them going in level wouldn't be the craziest of things, but there is a reinvestment here for Heretics. The Judge picks up the pieces of the weak economy, but this is everything on the line.
Molly from Boo's going to delay them, but they've taken caution. Boo has to make a big play and slip it into the wall. Unfortunately, as a slip up, the Seavoff was waiting on the side. It's success across the board for Fnatic. Even losing one, they've got contingencies with Alpha holding for that second man on the south side. It is going to be Rienz alone again. This time in the 1v4, he'll find the first. It doesn't look like he's given up on it just yet. Knows there's a player close. Has the right idea, but a triple swing is primed and ready. And only the double needed to close. 5-4, Fnatic hot on their opponent's heels.
Yeah, I like him trying to bait out all those fights at the end. Like, he knows where they are, just nothing he can do about it. And very, very good discipline from the side of Fnatic. I'll also say it feels like they've spotted the gap. Like the spot where there's the biggest weakness. Their execution on this B side of the last couple of rounds has been very good. Other than the massively aggressive push through the smoke, they haven't been caught. They've been able to deal with the Judge up top, even looking just for a pixel to try and find it, knowing that that's one of the spots at risk. And that is now the reset onto the economy of Heretics. A singular Guardians and pistols to play with. And well, no doubt they're going to try and take a lot of space in this round.
It's a small thing, but I swear I heard someone take damage, no? I feel like I heard the character noise, but I don't see anyone low on HP. That's throwing me for a loop. But okay. Looking to equalize. Should be the equalizer as well. Orbital Strike's going to even be committed. Better safe than sorry, says Boaster. But Heaven clear, a plant comes through. Still have main control, still have north side control. Really. And especially with the trap, I'm just thinking about this now. You're not even worried about them wrapping underneath, coming behind through Arcade. Fnatic have got everything in their favor. And frankly, that looked like it should have been a kill. Good luck to Heretics.
Oh, even the Nightfall committed. They really are taking this one as safely as possible. Even still, Koshmaris has managed to find a kill. He's trying to bait them out with the tap of the spike. And eventually will. Nice trade from Benji, but once more, there's another layer to this. Another player that they have to deal with up in the tower. And all the more, they've only just figured out that Alfia is back towards the ramp for Boo. Chance of winning the round have just hit absolute zero. Can he make it any more costly? No, he cannot. Few more ults than maybe expected to be expended in this round, but again, for Fnatic, climbing back into things. 5 rounds now on the board after a slow start. I think they'll be pretty happy either way.
Well, yeah, there's only 2 rounds left to play with. So in this round where the danger of a pistol completely upsetting your round, hell, we saw what Benji could do from Heaven a couple rounds ago. So it makes sense. You put the orbital strike through. I'm surprised with the Nightfall as well.
We found the wave.
Like you said.
The wave we're riding. Good job, boys. Good comp.
Or like he said, even better. Riding the wave. Making sure that they don't give any opportunities to fight back in. Now coming into this round as well, it's not like they're without anything. A run it back is just 1 orb away, and there's quite a few orbs to pick from when it comes to this map. Phoenix can get you in. And from that point, you're at least guaranteed, even at the half. They just need this round, but Heretics have invested fully, and somehow Koshmaris avoids 2 fights taking him down in main. He's got the info early.
And here comes the overdrive. Showstopper has been sent out. A chance, and he's gonna get two! Massive from Woot. A little bit of luck that's gone a long way. Leaves just 3 remaining for the side of Fnatic. Of course, you mentioned the running back. It is online, and the other ult that they used is also now gone. Left to Alfia, and unfortunately again,
Spike down A.
too many targets. Nothing landed. And with the spike down, even a recovery here seems impossible. Of course, credits-wise, they're not in a bad position, so it's no real surprise to see Fnatic try and just throw bodies at this. And Crashies probably is a little bit surprised that there's still someone on the B site.
Yeah, I don't think that would have crossed his mind for even a second. And actually, the time it's going to take this fight is going to win the round.
He just wants to kill him
for
now.
Heretics. But yeah,
just for being a rat. He's like, you know what? We don't like rats. Get out of here, boo. But yeah, 14 HP. Probably just going to try and hold on to the gun. And he's not going to.
Mission failed. One more to play with now. Fnatic stalled out there at the 5 mark. Hey, again, finding 3 in a row in the last. I think it was important to keep that momentum going, but what do you do about this?
It's just RNG.
Every setup in the world, every strategy you put into play, just one rocket well placed through a cage, and that's the end of your run. But
Nice! Let's go, guys! Come on! Come on!
On the upside, run it back online for Fnatic coming into the final round.
Again, not really seen much from Seabuff on this Phoenix so far.
Oh, it's been awful.
Those orbs have been collected throughout the game, but unfortunately not a lot of them coming off the kills. Flash is going to give the space. Allow him to go through on the run it back, but especially with the stun, I don't know if he's even going to make it to the site. No, it's just going to be the spam through. Kayak's at least done well on the other side, and then re-aggresses to take down the flanking Benji. Turns it back into an advantageous position, but more importantly, opens up A. However, they're just baiting this. They're baiting the push forward. Incredible. They've pulled out Koshmaras into a fight that he didn't even know he was about to take and given them an even bigger advantage.
Rienz has bailed them out of worse situations, you would say, in the past, but not this time. The spike will not be stopped on its rush towards the B site. And now, all alone on the other side of the map is Boo. It looks like we're destined to be neck and neck at halftime, and with Boo having 2 kills on the board so far, this would be a pretty significant departure from the norm from what we've seen so far. And he will find the first.
Okay.
All right. And look how quickly Fnatic they were all grouping up to push him to hunt him. He got that kill. They're like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's play this seriously.
It's not going to matter at the end. Kayak, he is going to be able to make this an even half. 13-7 for him, a decent result, but we have to see what's going to happen in the next. For the past weeks, we have been keeping up today with the race to 3,000 kills between Alfia and Kankan. Ginny is standing by with the man himself for an update.
The race to 3K has been concluded on the CN side of things. Alpha, I thought
We jump in.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the time, they've been so sort of dominant in that first half that we've seen a lot less of their attack. I think both sides, in theory, are going into their weaker half now. But nonetheless, like, do you really care about my opinion, Mitch? Why would we bother with that when we can listen to the comms?
They know it's fake.
Okay, I hear you, Ines.
Can I do it now?
Yeah.
Go.
Dash.
Go.
Use
One tower, guys. Cypher tower. Tower. Chill, guys. Can we kill tower? Everybody
Yes.
stay in your nade. Can we kill tower?
Tower killing me, guys.
Good job. Guys, one behind.
One more.
Kill CT.
Nice. Last behind.
Main. Close.
Pick on me.
Yeah.
Pick on me, guys. Only on me.
Yeah, it's good. Stabilize, guys.
I'm peeking
If you
on
want,
B.
you can pick on me as
Well,
well.
things getting hectic in the Team Heretics comms, but it looks like that's netted them around. Only Kayak left. 4 players in the post plant. And all dangers, bar one, dealt with. This guy's been having a pretty good map so far, but they've spotted him now. It should be a formality.
Ooh, okay.
Well,
That was a nice shot.
big
The
risk.
problem now is the time. There's so much that Kayak would have to do. I think this has come down to basically just how many orbs can he farm up in the next few seconds, especially with the deep control of both duelists. And eventually for Boo, he'll get the easiest kill of the day so far. 7-6 both pistols now going the way of Heretics, and it was the reason that they went in even at the half, was the fact that they managed both. But an important one to take nonetheless.
Oh, without a doubt. It's the only thing separating them from their opponent after that first half as well. The pistol that they found, that Heretics found, is being 2 for 2. It's given them the leg up. The late rounds, Fnatic woke up, and that's a conversation that I think is very consistent with Fnatic. Waking up into series again, the era, the dynasty of comebacks that they've had. But then we've seen it in events as well. We've seen it outside of just the maps. Them getting better as the tournament goes on and as the stakes grow steeper, grow greater. But here with the pistols, there's not a peep from the defensive side. Boo goes down, but to be fair, decent tag on Woot. But it is Alpha left alone again to try to not win the round, really.
Spike planted.
Do damage.
He's going to try.
Yeah, no doubt he will, but I think it's an unreasonable goal.
Yeah, you know. Alfia does unreasonable things sometimes. I will say, the fact that he was in the race for kills and, you know, Concon gets to play the whole of his playoffs.
Yeah, it's
not really fair.
It's kind of messed up, right?
I would say it was cheating, but, you know.
It should be a per series rate, per round.
But either way, he didn't add another to the tally. And Heretics, a relatively clean conversion, even though it definitely had some danger about it. Also for Woot, earning up a lot of orbs early. Couple away from that showstopper. On most maps, we would talk about like, okay, maybe in a round, he'll be able to get that showstopper. On this map, he could very easily get it this round.
More than enough orbs on offer. That's even without firing a shot. You can see presence taken by Heretics north side, already speeding up. Woot is going straight into heaven. He's giving it away though. The boombot's being sent through, but he is following it up at a pace the Fnatic just could not expect.
He got the orbs.
Showstoppers online from Woot, but Sivov is fighting back. The rocket not going to land on him, but he sent instead Corral towards the executioner of Benji Fishy. And with Kayak alone this round,
they're going back,
where everything was committed on the side of Fnatic. They took their bruises and lumps in the first two, but thought this is where we'll swing back.
Get there first.
They've fallen flat on their face. It's on Kayak to pick them right back up.
Now Woot's low. He's got here so quickly that not only will they not have heard him because they were too far away, he could genuinely catch them on the cross. Able to get down to the site, looking to try and clear this, but realistically, he's so far forward that why would anybody expect him to be here? The first, that was the low player. The next two, definitely going to be a little bit tougher. Trying to bait him into a swing, but almost waiting to see where that second player comes from. Boo, just stuck within the site. Nowhere to clear, waiting for the cross. There's the swing out from Boo, but he doesn't land the shot. However, a hefty tag onto Kayak leaves this a lot less likely. No reason for them to swing anymore. They've grouped up together, repositioned into one. And Benji's just waiting. They've got a high-low just to make sure it's cleared. Another wonderful round from Benji Fishy. And more importantly, a huge victory for Heretics.
Oh, really quick thinking from Benji and Boo there as well. When the door opens, you see them instantly set up the high-low in a position that Main, if he does go there, it gives no angles. It gives no opportunity to fire back to spot info. And they can take the double peek after. And if he doesn't go to main, well, then he's walking right into your high-low setup. So really, really nice stuff in securing that. And I think there's been a couple moments where Heretics have had the advantage and you see them play loose. But once it gets serious, like goes from a 4v2 to a 3v2, or in this case to a 2v1, they're like, oh, tighten up the ship. Like they have that lock-in mode, which has been very good so far.
Oh,
Kayak.
the flash.
Oh, they're looking the other way. The distraction, it pays off for one, and a stun. But how much more can he get from here? In fact, the smoke has to go down to get him out. And they do manage to extract Kayak, so a man advantage persists.
Yeah, Boast has already retrieved a gun as well. Of course, for Heretics, they were at least able to get out with a spike. That could have been really dangerous if that had been dropped behind the smoke instead. They're looking to try and re-clear the same angle. If anything, it's the same trap being set, and this time Kayak's on the other side. A shot through the smoke that clears out Boo. No other additional weaponry has been retrieved just yet, still leaving it with just the one. But that is the risk. That's why Heretics wanted to fight it. If we give this up, it guarantees weaponry into enemy hands. And I think now with Crashies clearing, there was temptation to go for it, but as of right now, they're going to go just with that singular gun. It has, however, been handed to Alfia.
30 seconds left.
Wood's trying to take space, but Alpha's already here, locking it down. Benji alone, big plays, as we've said. We've seen him deliver, but this one, too hefty a package. Fnatic, they make it up to 7. Very well played in the late stage. And I think the perfect time for it as well. It felt like Heretics were just about to run away with the game.
Well, yeah, you lose your bonus, you win an Emoda Thrifty right off the back of it. And I think that also just not only the initial trap play, as you said, the sort of bait from Seavoth was sublime, but then you have like a change of, okay, we've now swapped Kayak back to the other side, and then we have another player baiting him. Just give your superstar player opportunities for free kills. And hey, it's a crazy thing. He's sometimes going to get free kills. Then you have your other superstar with a rifle he didn't have at the beginning, kill both at the end. Crazy how that works.
Yeah, it was filling back into space as well. Alpha had the rifle, but he also just had the right timing to get in towards elbow to deny that bit of extra space that Heretics wanted. Of course, they wanted that space just to take a quick fight, get out, equalize the numbers, but, well, they got a quick fight, that's for sure. 120 on the clock. Double digits still evade Heretics, but a buy doesn't. They're able to invest. They don't have that big old gun. They don't have the op. You see it instead in the hands of Kayak, and opponent's about to round that corner. Prowler goes first, and he fires the shot at it instead. Okay, Heretics have bought themselves a second. Leafs of light. Seavoth up close. Only the one. That op still waiting on the site, and they know it. For Heretics, it'll be time to speed up, to take it down as it rings out up in heaven. Or they could send it to the other side of the map, but they need to make a choice soon. 45 on the clock.
They're going to get the info. I guess Kayak on the other side has it as well, but another shot that goes awry, leaves a somewhat isolated Kayak, and then caught up from a different angle. Alfia hoping that maybe he can get some information off his remaining utility. But they are going to be able to cross, and more importantly, Riens, while trying to get the spike down, kills off Poster.
Spike planted.
Makes it so much more difficult for the remaining 2 players, and they're making that decision. We've got some credits to spare, but maybe not enough for everybody. Because of that, they've just got to hold on to the guns.
Well, it doesn't look like Heretics are going to be hunting them down, but happy to pick up an upgrade of an op. If it's even going to be carried through, I mean, there's a good chance he's just going to take the rifle, leave that op inside the spike drop, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, Heretics move north side, get out with weapons, okay, but double digits, that's the more important thing. Credits with 4 players alive, building up, an op removed from Fnatic's clutches as well. A buy in the next possible, especially with Kayak's ultimate, but it does feel like we're getting close to the line in the sand. It's been a back and forth affair so far, but a trip at this hurdle for Fnatic will probably leave them in the dust.
Yeah, and that's it. The time to take a pause is now. You have to focus on them. And you've seen his individual level also take a bit of a dip heading into the playoff stage.
It's understandable. You have much more to do in the round to round. Much more to draw your focus. Now, we've had the timeout from Fnatic. We've spoken about this. A marathon, not a sprint for sure, but it will turn into a quick burst of energy. If they lose out on this one final leg before the map closes in Heretics' favor. This has to be Fnatic's final stand. Big investment. As we said, the ult there for Kayak. They still get him a rifle, but they've lost the B site, forced into the retake early on.
This seems like the plan, though. Like when you have the run it back, you have the overdrive, you got an ability to run in, get some information, maybe get a kill, have no risk behind it, then you can follow up at pace, and that's not bad already. A trade onto an ultimate puts them with a man advantage. Alfie is looking to try and get them the rest of the information, try and clear those players from the backline. That's exactly what they're doing. Get rid of Riens and leave it onto 2. No ultimate to play with. Boo just needs to swing this, and now they know exactly where Benji is. That is a beautiful retake.
I think it worked out really well that Boaster didn't get his kill until towards the end of the round as well, because if he's the one picking up the opening, they get Orbital Strike right away, and I have almost no doubt that they would have put it into the round. But instead, they get out of there with Orbital Strike still intact, because he gets it in like a 4v1, or 5v1, pardon me. It was, of course, an in-zone flawless. So, from this point, Fnatic, we said that the pressure was on. This is a round they have to deliver in, and my God, they did. Playing the retake from the get-go, and it was all according to plan, leaving with still some ammunition locked and loaded. The magazines don't need a touch-up.
Oh, this is going to be fast. Surely. All 5 players grouped up. Overdrive for Cosmaris. They've also got Nightfall. Just look at Fnatic, though. They're not on the site. They've seen this coming. They knew that there's a good opportunity. They're going to send in an ult. They're going to get super pacey with it and go for that post plant. Fnatic very happy to try and play the retake, especially now. You mentioned the ults of the last round. Now they have that orbital strike. They can clear some of those angles. Heretics, though, their response, play in more aggressive positions.
Yeah, stay out of those easy chokes. Like you expect that Orbital Strike to go towards heaven. So not being caught in the corner up there is key. And there it is, coming down just as expected. This is their moment now to push forward. Take the fight to Fnatic as they go to push in off their ults. And it's Benji finding 2. The push up from Seavoff is messy. He's got there in the end, but Benji's triple has kept it within the realms of possibility for Heretics. They've heard the steps, they know where Cosmaris is coming from, and Seavoff had so much faith in Boaster. 5 HP, and he sticks the defuse.
Yeah, normally you might consider doing that the other way around, so you can take a tag or 2, depending the angle he comes from, but no. You realize, okay, it doesn't matter if I die. It matters that we win the round. I really like this round actually from both sides. Like, obviously, maybe a whiff or 2 in the mix of it, but it's the adaptations they made. First, one team realizing that, okay, Nightfall into that overdrive is a really good aggressive combo. Let's avoid that. Let's let them get the post plant set up with.
Fantastic. Can you do it now when the playing field's a little bit more level? Still have a Neon ult, but...
Yeah, and their opponents don't have guns.
That's always, yeah.
It does help out a little bit. You never know. Joe, honestly, with Wu, you never really know. Same with Cosmaris. I think I've seen this guy get so many sliding Sheriff kills, which, by the way, don't know why that's a thing.
And I don't think we can doubt Rian's with any weapon in his hand.
Yeah, to be fair. Especially, I think the Turkish players have really been pushing forward the use of the Bandit. It's not that surprising when you have the best first bullet accuracy of anyone.
Bring them down.
A lot of information for Fnatic. They've pushed all the way up on A, we can see that, but towards this B side as well, the Cypher setup a bit more passive. It's keeping a lot of info in their hands. Although they see nobody A, with no noise on B whatsoever, no utility, no presence. They're not falling for a ruse just yet. They're not going running into the attackers who are sat patiently waiting on that south side, expecting the overextension. But luckily the Prowler goes through. Heretics are wary of the space they've given up. And but what do they do here? You've already used both of your Prowlers. The reveal now finds nothing. You've only got main for your trouble. Now the site push needs some help.
Oh, there's so many players here from Fnatic. They are so aware of what is going on. 4 players already on this side of the map. Benji's done well, though. The re-swing, it's aggressive, it gives opportunity, but that time is ticking. They've still left at the back of the site. Kayak is not a man that you want to try and deal with in 8 seconds. And Boaster's there on the cross as well. Superb read from Fnatic to level things up. And Mitch, if the game so far is anything to go by, in both halves, 8 out of the 10 rounds from Heretics have come in those first 5. We're now getting into the last few.
Yeah, that's what I was saying coming in the second half as well, right? Like, Heretics found the pistol. It's even at the half. They find the pistol again. It's like, great, okay, cool, because seems like they need that little early lead up, that little bit of a foundation to build on. Now at double digits, the rifle's out from Heretics, but I like what I saw from Fnatic. Up against the mixed buy. They didn't over-aggress too much, but they didn't get rid of the aggression altogether. They needed their space, they fought for it, and they made their opponents pay with utility on the way back in. This time they'll pay with their lives as Cosmaris falls right off rip. An opening duel for Fnatic right when they wanted it.
Yeah, someone that I think a lot of teams have really struggled to deal with. Fnatic have not. Koshmaris has been going down first, I'd say in the majority of
Both
rounds.
halves, yeah.
Sivov has also managed to just earn up his ult as well. That run it back is already online once again. Of course, only 6 orbs. It's aggressive though from Boaster. Showstopper also utilized. It's going to give them at least space on the site, but they do also have to deal with a player in tower. This is a complete wraparound though. They've seen nothing towards that mid spot of the map and just go, okay, well, there's no one here, so that must mean they're pushing the extremities. I think Crashies has now had that realization, but yeah, one of the weirdest rotations you may ever see.
Oh man, how's Benji so low? Well, round 21.
Joke's over.
One of these teams is set to take the lead. Benji will catch Alpha there. No surprise they didn't expect him to be in that corner. They thought a big old rocket came and cleared it. Sivov takes down Boo though. The ult not offering up a trade. Now they move to the side as Kayak's got the finger guns out, but Crashy's landing too is what secures the round for Fnatic. 11 on the board. The team that needed an answer seems to have found one, with the lead being Fnatic's.
Yeah, even though they kind of fell for what was a very good rotation from Heretics, like making the realization there's no one through the map. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, in the moment I didn't catch that.
That's why I was saying, I wonder how he's so low.
I got it from what you said, but I was like, what? It's like, oh, bro, just straight up showstopping his own teammate.
He went, oh, there's no one here, I'll just fire it over where my teammate is. The man of culture. Yeah, but to be fair, when...
It was actually the ultimate bait.
When he emerges from that corner later, you are so confused as Alpha. Like, what?
Wow.
Oh, what a strange round.
Stinky buy from Heretics. A lot thrown into the last round. The showstopper was used. I wouldn't say utilized.
No.
It was used.
It was fired.
But now, they've been giving up this side a lot. And instead, Alpha is actually sat within it. Maybe a bit of a nasty surprise, but it seems to be something they're well aware of. Boost up well, the swing up to Alpha. There's wonderful trades! And it's not the prettiest final kill, but Sivov will not care. Him starting to come online right towards the end of this map. And even with both pistols, and in one half at least, getting themselves the bonus round, Fnatic now sit on map point. That really shouldn't happen for Heretics.
I always like when a player has that resurgence in the later stage of a game because it means we can be honest about how cheeks the first half was. I mean, Sivov looked garbage, and now he's online. He's taken out the trash, and that's exactly what we want to see. That was a big 3K from him under pressure, and that's not only going to be confidence for the next map, which is the pick of Fnatic, but him coming online, as you said, right in the nick of time at the final hour as the bell tolls. 2 rounds, 2 chances for Fnatic to lock in the lead coming out of their opponent's map pick, and it starts with success, but Boaster goes walking through a smoke, but so do Team Heretics, and they've been smoked by the players on the other side. Woot doesn't even fire a shot in the right direction before Sivov himself puts him to bed. That is a Fnatic.
Super impressive for me is that throughout different iterations of this roster, I think this is the best map for Boaster in his calling. I think he's so good on that attack side. But also they've been utterly dominant the 2 times they played this, even battering Eternal Fire, who then battered Heretics. So it's going to be a lot for Heretics to prove here, and they are picking up the pace immediately in towards that B site.
Well, a confident start would definitely help out for the attacking side. And it looks like, even after finding B for free, they're not happy. They want more. And so, in towards Hobbit they go, where now a shorty will be defending that doorway. Nice shot by Kayak. Swing back in, a little risky from Sivov, but now they'll just wait. They'll just take this fight together, or at least they'll try to. Heretics pushing it down, taking it towards the spawn, but Kayak has sent 3 out of the round. It's Benji and Woot left to do it all, and the flank around for Benji is perfect, putting things back even until Woot puts them in the lead. It's Heretics 2v1 time on their side as Crashies is under pressure and the stick in the smoke not gonna fly.
Yeah, he's unlucky. The fact that Woot gets 2 kills means that nade's back. There's no way that he could just sit within it and defuse from that point onwards, but I'll be honest, I feel a bit bad for Kayak. The fact that he comes out of this scenario getting 2 kills, I really felt like he could have even got the 3rd if he was a little bit luckier. And then you just needed, well, the rest of the players to step up. Instead, though, it's another pistol under the belts of Heretics. But they've been able to do that in the last map.
Yeah, well, they were able to do it twice. Find the pistol, teeter out towards the end. As the spark died slowly, but certainly in the end, Heretics losing map 1, but finding a pistol. Now it has to be clean in the second. It starts out that way, at the very least. Boaster's dealt with, trying to be a smoke criminal, and now a post plant with a relatively open spike. This should be their round. I see very, very few ways for Fnatic to find anything here, and I think they're in the same boat, waiting to either catch somebody over-aggressing or go down to the spike.
Well, yeah, considering that I think I've just watched Sivov spend a couple of seconds adjusting his monitor, I don't think they have any plans to move from this position, and we'll just look to go down to the spike. Solid start for Heretics once again, but that has sort of been the expectation. And while Wook's even going to go looking, of course, again, wanting to try and get towards that showstopper, but there is nothing for him to find. Rians will at least gain an extra orb at the end, but ultimately now this is where the game gets going.
I mean, listen, Tom, I'm always a fan of, you play the game in whatever way empowers you. I'm sure I play the game in a way that lots of people, or well, few, probably very few people out there would disagree with. So
I'd say everyone.
Well, it's somewhere in the middle ground, perhaps. But I think that I'm confused a little bit when I see Sivov play the game because he's in the monitor, Tom. I could ask him what the C site smelled like. His nose is in there. It's disturbing. Very few people
like sand.
Bringing the Redgar vibes back in the day, where that man genuinely, I think he pressed his eyes against the monitor. He's up close. Maybe that's going to help him hit some shots this map.
This is, again, very pacey from the side of Heretics. Already getting deep control. And when you have the likes of a Judge and weaker rifles, the closer you can get, the better. This is an unorthodox position, though, from the side of Benji. Like, he's just waiting for one man, and one man alone. Alfia setting up for this, and he's just, that's got to be a tilter. Like, you are waiting for someone to maybe try and catch the rest of your team. Instead now, Benji has a second opportunity to backstab. He will need to get a move on, though. Kayak already with one back into the site. Woot looking to try and hold onto the angle, and will be able to do so. Yet to die, but that will change very quickly. Rien's dealt with, and now that backstab has to come in again. But Benji already claiming his second flash out, and he will close the round. That is mastery of positioning, if ever I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a great plant spot. I like as well the fact that Fnatic did the right thing here, which was to not split up and go take Benji down and give so much more space back to the other team. Instead, focus on the site, break through, and that they did. But in the end, Benji, perfect position. The timing to catch that second, not that kill, the one just before it, his second of the round, was sublime.
Nice!
Well,
let's go.
I'll say as well, one of the things I find funnier about that is we have seen so many Neon Judge players throughout this stage especially. They gave it to their lurker because they knew exactly what they were going to do with it.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's nasty. That's a nasty plan to have.
Definitely a bit of a frustrating round for poor old Alpha. This time his aggression is going to be kept to the C site, where he's pushed up for some tight early control. There's also that Killjoy turret still just about online from where Alpha's standing right now, and that's key because the B site and C are defended, although they have sent Sivov through just to be sure, to be safe, and to be wary of a split coming through. It's very likely Heretics, how many teams do we see break that door and go through to the B site? But it allows them to have so many numbers, is the point, towards the part of the map that Heretics are playing on. If Alpha goes down, that goes out the window. And he realizes he's being spotted, and he will just back up out of that angle. This is the right call. If he stayed around for a second or so longer, this entire round spirals out of control. But even with the pistols, if they can force Heretics to push into the numbers, this could still be a Fnatic round.
Yeah, especially with the time.
Turret breaks calls to rotate.
Yeah, they've already started gambling back in the other direction. I think it's been realized by Kayak at least That will at least bring in the rotation, but bear in mind what he has. A classic and his utility, a hero through, and actually, for a second, the ultimate coming online made things dangerous. The problem, though, is anybody flanking is being caught by Benji Fishy again. His lurks are being impactful. And for the remaining two, with just the pistols remaining. Oh, okay! I was going to say there's little to no hope, but Alfia again shows there's always hope.
It's only a classic, but there's a rifle to be picked up. 22 already in the mag. That flash is going to cause problems, and those thorns going to cause even more. Oh, the time ticking away, but he can force a fight on that player up close. Benji in danger, and he doesn't even know it yet, but that shot fired gets Rien's looking the right way, and it's an easy kill in the end. 4-0. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, because in the last map on both halves, we had this moment where we go, ooh, I'm getting worried about Fnatic. Heretics are looking dominant. And to be fair, Fnatic down numbers, that means nothing. Nothing to me. We've seen it a million times. But it's more so Heretics being dominant. That's the part that's strange for me to see, and then see it fade away in both halves.
I think as well, in this one, just how impactful Benji's been already is a very good sign. You could say the same for the last map as well,
Yeah,
though.
definitely.
I think the bigger danger, though, is just this is Sivov's first time playing the Viper. I think cycling of utility is already going to be so important with that agent. He's a pinnacle piece of a puzzle that is normally perfect. The start, though, is sublime. And with Sivov holding his ground, that's already a further advantage. Showstopper out finds nothing, and he's managed to take a lot of space back, but he's caught by the spam from Woot.
Yeah, he realized that, well, he had to go somewhere to avoid that Showstopper. Good reasoning, good shot, and Kayak misses up top. That would have been the round lockdown, a 4v2 before the plant even comes in. Instead, Heretics, they get another lifeline. Perhaps it will be one of their last, given Fnatic 3v3 now, that op waiting to hear it sing, but 50 seconds on the clock. Heretics don't seem to be feeling pressured. Despite being surrounded, despite needing that spike plant, they are taking their time.
Yeah, with how quick they were, they can afford to do this, and it's constantly forcing Fnatic to recheck and re-clear, especially the tapping of the door. Like, that was the goal. They want to bait someone into making a mistake. Try and get them to fight you, so that then you have an opportunity to plant for free. The problem with planting right now is it's a danger. You give yourself an instant disadvantage. So they are waiting just to see if that mistake is made. Another whiff shot, uncharacteristic, and now they're going to clear out Crashies as well. They have been on this site for well over a minute, but they have brought it down to just a singular player left. Boaster looking to try and claim his spot at home, his spot in London, but with the smoke already in hand, he's done a lot of damage, but taken even more in return. A 1v2 that seems to be slipping further and further away with 5 bullets left, and he's not baiting them into any sort of fight. They are just taking their time as they have the whole round. Brilliant patience from the side of Heretics.
Yeah, and now the pressure really starting to mount. You can see it there for Fnatic. 2 big opportunities for Kayak. We could have seen Boo and Rien's down and out of the round. But
let's go, guys! Amazing! Let's go!
those shots don't land. Those players left alive in the late stage, and the price is paid by Fnatic. 5
up. I'm sure they're hoping that this pause won't have the impact that Fnatic are hoping it will.
It does always feel like a matter of time. Alpha, 2 kills, 4 deaths. Do you remember those 2 kills with the Sheriff?
I do remember them.
That little double tap. We haven't seen them every round, but we've seen moments of it. And in the previous map, we saw Fnatic slow to start, but get there in the end with a speedy close to both halves. Now we'll look for the same fake
like
TP
this.
put through. Making those players look at their back, making them wonder. And, well, Alpha still good with the Sheriff for at least 1. It's a start, but following up on it should be difficult.
Oh, through they go. Shot is at least connected. But it's not going to be enough damage to warrant a kill. Benji will still be standing. A couple of ults expended in this round from the side of Heretics. They knew that after the pause, there's a good opportunity, a change of mindset, a step up from the players, and there's still one, maybe even two more to play with in the next round. They don't really need to have everything online going into the next buy. Boaster, though, making things costly in a decent position, but Koshmaras well aware. And while a Boaster 1v3, it's not going to be happening. 6-0. Heretics extending that lead further with, okay, as I said, a couple of ults expended, but I don't think they'll mind too much.
No, but on the other side, I don't think Fnatic will mind losing that one too much either. They had a lot of weaknesses. This is the round that no doubt they will have discussed when it came to that timeout. And as hesitant as I am to say it, we are getting towards crunch time now. 6-0 is not a damning...
Meteor, bro. Come on.
Oh, it's not a damning scoreline, but it's getting pretty close.
Yeah, it's always difficult on this map because we know how good Fnatic historically have been on that attack side, but they do need to give themselves some wiggle room in the manner in which they've been losing these rounds, be it from dominance at the beginning to even having pretty big advantages a couple of rounds ago. It's that same pace that Heretics look to hit them with. Already, they're going to be taking the weaponry away and forcing Fnatic into a retake.
Placing wall trap.
Saving that wall for post plant as well. A deadly setup you've just seen put through there for Benji.
Spike planted.
As soon as the wall's tripped, flash goes up, and whoever's caught inside's in big trouble. But now lockdown in play. They're going to have to fight against that.
Okay.
And it's Koshmaras with a double. The nade doing the dirty work, but Kosh is going for more. Last bullet in the mag. And that's a triple kill and a denial of the lockdown that Fnatic were hinging that retake on. The spike will go off. There is no stopping it now, and Fnatic realize they are running for the hills as Heretics are running for the finish line. 7-0 now to the attack. No matter how slow they are in the second portion of this half, they're guaranteed the lead.
Yeah, really impressive stuff. It even felt like they adapted that on the fly. Because the way they placed the wall and the post plant, you kind of go like, oh, they're just going to lock themselves in. And then it was the realization of, oh, they're going to put the lockdown in. We need to get aggressive. And then just the utility that they used on the fly. Like, as you said, they saved util, but it wasn't just what was saved by Benji. I think it was Rien's had some util as well.
Seize, stun, nade, all at the exact same time. I mean, I do think initially the plan there was to turtle, and then someone made the call, wait, they have lockdown. Wait, they're going to probably do it here. They were ready the second it went down. 3 pieces of utility at you, you're dead. The question is, can anybody else trade you out? The answer was absolutely not. Not before there's 3 bodies on the floor, and none of them were from Heretics. An initial fight from Woot here. He's left a little on his own, but Boo, TP's out for the trade. Now big swing coming in to try to pull it back into Fnatic's favor, and it looks to be working. Benji, though! He's thrown a wrench into the plans of Fnatic. And he could be burying them beneath another feet of dirt. It is a potential 8-0. And the man who can stop that dominant score from coming through is Alfier.
Benji has only died once so far. He's been impeccable, nigh on perfect, battling for that opportunity to make it to Masters London. The bait on the wall. He doesn't know maybe if the player's already crossed, but feels like he would have had the timing. Still a little bit wary of that wraparound, and his reposition gives him a good spot. Alfier, though, knows that he's going to have to drop back down, maybe. No, he's gone so far, but he will land the shot in the end. It's a second death for Benji and a first round for Fnatic.
Oh yeah, that felt like the last hand on the ledge for Fnatic, and Benji trying to stamp down on their fingers.
That was a pinky finger. Yeah. That was one little pinky finger clinging on.
Thank God he doesn't bite us now. He would have went flying, but...
Alfier's got a very strong pinky finger.
Not the first time I've heard that, let me tell you. And thank God he does. Pulls himself right back up, and his team right back into things. A 7-1 deficit. It's not pretty, but this could have been a continuation of the dominance that we've seen in the last 7. Now, round 9, a bye up for both teams, but most importantly, Fnatic has so many ultis to work with. That Viper's Pit already on the right side of the map. As you can see, Heretics wasting no time.
Yeah, they've been so good at just getting in incredibly fast, getting into those post plants. And as we saw earlier, their post plants are impressive, but in this case, they had no plan of planting. Kayak already bringing one back. Knows there's still a man on the plant. Will go through the thorns. Takes a lot of damage as he does, and it makes that kill all the more easy. Seavoff already low. Boaster
Spike planted.
nowhere near the action just yet. In fact, Boo, I don't even know if anybody's going to expect this corner this late into the round, especially with everybody else and where they're facing. Boo's just looking to try and make sure he can protect his teammates through a bit of an awkward corner. Bear in mind, Seavoff is so low, they'll fight him together, making sure there's no chance of him slipping the net. And for Boaster, unfortunately, the credits start to come calling again. They need to make sure they have a bye for the next round, so he needs to keep the gun.
You win one, you come into this, and well, there's barely that much of a contest in so many of those fights. It's definitely not the look that we needed to see from this squad. Boaster getting a moment to chat with the boys and again steady that ship. But the deficit that they were already facing puts them in a position where Fnatic, they don't just need to win a round here or there, they need an answer, a solution. And so far, it has been out of reach. And even after they found that one, you hope that not much left to play for in half number one for Fnatic, but they are going to hope to gather together what crumbs they can. Make for half possible. It's deep aggression.
It's a ruse.
It's a lot of control over A main, and nothing for it. Seavoff though does well. His wall gives him the cover to back off. That is perfectly played. And now with an advantage, they can fall back to the retakes that have worked out so well.
Yeah, he got the snake bite off in time. Left him with enough that even when Wu went through it. But from A to B, now trying the C plan from Heretics, but they've taken so much damage. Seavoff now in the right place again, his second kill of the round. A post plant will be there, but this is an advantage Fnatic surely can't lose.
In a normal round, you'd say that, but this time, they cannot afford to let this one slip. They shouldn't lose it off the numbers alone. And they couldn't lose it if they want this map to be theirs. It's going to be Rian's. Seeing the first is the retake already underway. Numbers on site, spams coming through while others hold for the aggression. All their bases covered, and Fnatic hitting nothing but home runs. It will be an end zone flawless for the second round on the board in Fnatic's favor.
Yeah, I think even just the Nightfall, like I don't mind it going in, but I think it shows where we're at. Like they had a two-man advantage, but it's like we need this round. We need to make sure that at no point they have a chance. And I think with how much some of those players were tagged, that put them down to like 1 HP. Like it was a spam through the wall. There you go from Boaster, and then just a singular bullet needed to clear out Boo. A much better round from Fnatic, but most importantly, a much better round from Seavoff. He's not been playing bad so far, but just being able to deny that rush back towards the B site and then also deny them doing the same on C, that's such an important round from him.
We've seen this aggression from Fnatic. It's how they afford those early rotations, getting A main early. It's certainly not a new strategy by any stretch of the imagination. But Heretics saw it in the last round. They saw that space taken and the players immediately backing off. The rotates being in play towards C. Now, they leave a man outside. The same thing for the B site. They'll put pressure on this entire left side of the map, hoping that some over-aggression comes in, that Benji can maybe catch Kayak, looking for an early flank. For now, at least, it's a very patient display from the defenders, not falling for any of the ruses that have been sent their way.
It feels like Heretics at this point are just attempting to bait out as much utility as possible. Keep making noise around each side of the map. But Fnatic have actually held on to quite a lot here. They're still having Prowler, the Haunt, Paranoia, Snakebite. They haven't fallen for the tricks. It leaves them with a lot to play with that Paranoia available just to try and slow them once again. And with an additional stun thrown through, challenging this
30 seconds
definitely
left.
seems like a bit of a gamble. Two players still on the other side of the map, but Rians will win that initial fight. They now have to send it though. And Boaster is still yet to make the call for his teammates to actually rotate over to this side. 15 seconds left, but if they split back towards B, there will still be somebody waiting.
That wall, though, it's gotten them through. The Paranoia didn't land, but the stun on top of it, what can you do? There's no way to deny that plant. They can at least thin the herd alongside it. Boaster does well to find one. But for Fnatic, they're losing control. Heaven's now being pushed into as well. The Viper's Pit is an attempted way back in, or so it seems. But look at the map. The only player on that side is Sivov. You've had Boaster wrap around to the south side while doubled up in Heaven. They look to try to punish that aggression from earlier, but Heretics have simply fallen out. They've given up that space. The timer is ticking, and it's not Heretics under pressure. A reveal up close, that's a freebie! Alpha's deleted, Crashy's traded on immediately, and even a showstopper for good measure. Heretics will not let this round slip, and the gap extends, a guarantee of 9 at the half, with 1 round left to play for.
Again, it was getting a little bit late on the clock. I was looking at Heretics, and especially with, as I said, it seemed like their plan for the majority of the round was try and bait out utility. That's the one thing that sort of caught them a little bit, was the snake bite of the previous round. And even without it necessarily being baited out, they win the fights at the moment they need to. The Viper's Pit doesn't cover the spike or cover their way out, which definitely makes it that little bit harder. And then just a really good timing of putting that Haunt into it. Like, just the second that Althea goes to run out, he gets pinged. 9-2. Another aggressive fight for A control ensues, and well, they've got the information of where these players are. Riens is firing on all cylinders.
It's a full bloodbath in A main to start the round. Shrouded step from Boo, got him across, avoiding the C's that was sent out, and on the other side, the C's catching a few. It made it so hard for Kayak to get to the spot he needed to be on Rubble. Again, we said the whole idea from Fnatic of fighting that early is to get that control.
They've got the read
relies
so
on
wrong.
them getting on Rubble, and they couldn't do it. Now left with a massive gap of information. Even in a 3v3, the number's even, but look how big the map is. Now they've realized where the hits come. Boo, you're in a nano, bro!
Oh my God.
1 HP. A little bit of decay in the mix, but that could have been the end.
Yeah, just the elevated nano, but like, that's been around for a long, long time. I'm surprised he gets caught that much by it and now completely blinded. But even still, that's an even trade. Riens down to just 7 HP, still wary of a player in the corner. Riens is just not stopping his 14th kill of the half, leaving Crashy's 33 health, and desperately trying to at least put a curse onto the board, but it seems like right now the curse of Riens is taken over. 10 rounds for Heretics.
It's starting to feel like he has a grudge against about every team in the league at this stage. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Well, Fnatic, 2 rounds on the board, a team that's known for some historic comebacks, and now they need one. Let's see how the vibes are down in the studio with the Fnatic fans.
Nice! Nice, nice! Let's go!
Listen, we're gonna be sending it over. Hello.
And should be better, Tom.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm still, you know, there's an attack side to come. You're never going to doubt Fnatic on those attacks. And you know what? Let's have a listen in to see how things are going. Are they still feeling they can do it?
Rather see.
Yeah,
I drop my one now.
I guess Vice is on A.
The fate power
I'm gonna open Gordon.
They're doing it.
Two more.
3.
3 in Hobbit. Yeah,
3 Hobbit and 1 A. I'm watching main.
Yeah, I'm blinding him.
Spike down.
105 neon, 105 neon. 3, 4.
Last player standing.
Directly I mean.
Bot coming back.
Now, Tom, I think it's safe to say that a pistol round might help Fnatic's current position, but Heretics have won every pistol so far, and for that reason, I'm going to predict Heretics to win the pistol.
Okay, that's, yeah, great shout.
Thank you.
If you'd said that maybe like 30 seconds ago, that might have held some weight.
Listening. I mean, I was waiting to say it.
Yeah. I'm more surprised, like, especially when we see in the replay how Riens is not dead, because he was full blinded walking into the crosshairs of like multiple players and just somehow didn't die. I think it kind of shows how things are going. Riens seemingly he's gonna get blocked by the wall. That's what you get, Riens. That's what you get. That isn't so flawless. I'm sure he's going to be a little bit upset, but I think he'll cope.
Yeah, the 11-2 scoreline might help.
Look at him. He's just running around completely blind.
You know, the box was his best friend there, and so was Benji, covering everyone that swung out.
Bro, come here, I will knife you, bro? Why are you crossing the wall?
Well, he had to do something. 11-2. And that really should be the final nail in the coffin. 12
Yeah.
within reach, and it's a force buy from Fnatic. They're putting all the credits into it. Lose this one, the game is gone. Although I think it might have been a while ago. That's a nasty set of spams from Benji.
Slow mode, isn't it?
And then Booz hit that.
Okay.
And that.
Oh, you know what?
Spike
This
down,
was
C.
a dangerous start, but they've already managed to bring it back.
Put it away, mate.
The Ares coming out for Koshmaras.
Good
Funnily
start.
enough, always seems to do quite a lot of damage. Is running out of bullets,
Enemy remaining.
but he'll get there in the end. It's a couple of players lost, and normally you'd talk about that. It's not bad eco round, but wasn't an eco round.
No, that was a force buy.
Also, Benji had one of the whiffs of the century, so...
Yeah, possibly the worst full magazine usage of a Bulldog I've ever seen, but it is a hard gun to use, let's put it that way. I really don't like the Bulldog. It just feels wrong. And I'm sure Banshee agrees with me after that round. But yeah, this definitely looks like a comeback that might even be too big of an ask for even Fnatic. And I know that's a crazy thing to say.
Oh my God. Well, we talked about Fnatic dominance. A 13-4 the last time, 13-2 the last time they played this. And now they are getting decimated. A complete turnaround from the previous. An attempted wrap. Timing is all they could really hope for, and they have none of it. The luck has all but dissipated. A third map. All but guaranteed. Unless Crashies can pull off a 1v4, and then they win a further 9 rounds in a row. And then they go to overtime. In case you didn't realize, I did not believe. 13-2 on Lotus from Heretics. I don't think I've ever seen a map that could be more of a confidence builder for this squad. They have just decimated Fnatic on their home turf.
Yeah, pistol rounds, not the only thing that's looking good for Team Heretics with a dominant...
Those takes, being able to slow all of that utility from being able to be thrown in. They're kicking off on that attack side. I want to see how Fnatic are going to set the pace and how that Vice is going to end up being utilized on this side of the map.
Expecting something spicy, and instead you got the catch-up. Nice opening from Alfie. I mean, listen, catch-up can still have a bit of a kick to it too. Just ask So Marcus.
Yeah.
He knows all about it. Let's see if this flavor is what Fnatic needed. Rienz, he's thinking about going forward. Benji's alongside him, but they'll back off, at least for the time being, and it's a good thing too because Boo's just being cut down to size. This split from Fnatic is, well, finding a lot of success in the back of Alfier. A triple for him in this before we finally see Kayak answer the call, and, well, Woot left to pick up the pieces. A welcome departure from the success that Heretics had in every single pistol round before this.
Yeah, and then also a chance to get 50% of the rounds that they got on the last map as well. So definitely a bit of a step up.
There was no need.
Hey, they blocked me on Twitter. It's cool, you know.
That is true,
I'm gonna
actually.
throw some shots.
They started the beef, so you know what, Tom? I stand with you.
I might have cosmic cursed their whole team, but that's not the point.
At least it wasn't against a team they've got, I don't know, beef with.
Yeah, they've been 9 times in a row until I made the post. But we'll ignore that. I didn't do anything today other than point out the fact that one of those beautiful British boys will not be making it to Masters London.
Pistol!
And this is what it comes down to. This map right here. Of course, 2 very different styles of play. Almost a necessity to be aggressive. And bear in mind that Heretics really struggled on the attack side when playing against BBO. It looked like they were going to get battered out of this map as well, but managed to turn it in their defensive half. So a poor first half here might be more damning than you think. Of course, for data for the other side, we are yet to see Fnatic play this map. It's only just been reintroduced, and they, of course, skipped that first round of playoffs.
All these rounds, often a formality as they should be. But the defenders, posing next to no real threat. Of course, that's never really the thing you should be saying when there's a Neon with a shotgun, but now there isn't, so I feel pretty confident in saying that. Boo, all alone, Classic in hand, and a chance to do some damage, but looking at the buy of Fnatic, it's not going to be easy. You take 2 kills, you're probably only removing an SMG. You take 3, and you're so much better than them as a player, you're probably going to win the round. Almost impossible for him to get what he needs to out of this round. Why is he running that far away with the bookie?
I'm guessing he's going all the way around to try and just catch them on the exits of B. Didn't want to make any sound as he did it. Wanted them to maybe get the full sense of security after clearing some of those positions. Unfortunately, it makes no difference because Alfie is now pushing in his direction and will close him out for the end zone flawless. A magnificent start from Alfie, so much so that he is 1 orb away from getting that steel garden. And that is one of the major benefits for the attack side on this map, is you are able to fight for those orbs and you are able to have a fair advantage in winning them.
You're saying good start for Alpha, so much so, and I thought you were going to say that he has as many kills as the previous map.
No, I'm not mean. I'm a nice guy.
Not as good as our Classic.
There you go, all right.
All right, well, that's real beef being started now. You can say whatever you want, or like all those things we have to bleep, but you insult their Classic? That's crazy.
Coming for the bottom line. I respect it. Oh, well, there goes that wall. That was a bit of an easy one to bait out. Alpha might have to rethink his positioning there. Yeah, it has been a lights-out start from Alpha here. 5 kills, I think 4 of them with the Ghost. And, well, like I said, 5 kills in the previous map. Confidence builder, much needed for a Fnatic that was slow to start. Found the finish on map 1, never started map 2. Finally finding their pistol round, they seek a third. 3 in a row.
My ultimate's ready.
Managed to play with that steel guard, definitely puts the pressure on here. Woot able to make it out just about, but he will be locked out of that site. All alone now, 1 man, and it's Benji fishing. He will find the first, and they are slow to look for trades. He's given a chance to catch his breath, ready himself, steel himself for the battle to come, and another found as a result. Benji, you put him in a corner, and he comes out swinging every time. With Crashies alone, he spots one, lands the headshot. HP very low for both. That looked doable. Yeah. In the end, Heretics find their round.
I feel like it's a little bit unlucky not to come out with something a little bit more there. Boo so desperately low, and if a single bullet got spammed in. But these are kind of the moments you want to see from not only Benji Fishy, but also Wu. When he is just playing this Jet, it feels like just an absolute comfort pick.
No! Let's go, guys. Good job. They use Faisal. 6.
And as he said, already managing to beat what was a bonus, but also had an ultimate invested. Even still, Fnatic are going to be able to comfortably buy. Of course, we know that Koshmaris is more than happy to pick up a Judge instead of having one of those rifles. But if Heretics are going to have another stellar defensive side, as they did when they played BBL, they can't afford to lose this round.
I mean, unless I'm mistaken, Heretics have as many kills as Alpha does right now. It's a flash in the pan, or at least it can be chalked up to that, and the buy round coming in from Fnatic. It's tough because last round, obviously, they did commit an ult on that attacking side. A big one in the Steel Garden with the Vice ult gone. The success they found didn't come on the back of it necessarily. Judge up close for Koshmaris. Oh, and he gets caught by the flash. He ate it. Getting out of there is tough, but he makes it.
Yeah.
They're very slow to follow up, and look at that damage on the spam! Oh! Koshmaris in for the double with the Judge! And that, unrecoverable. With Alpha spotted here, that was the one saving grace. A man slipping past, but no,
30
not
seconds
flying
left.
under the radar, but too low to the ground, 2-1. Well, we're about to see things equalized.
Yeah, that almost feels like the curse of just not punishing Koshmaris. Just allowing him to live that little bit extra longer, and he's able to get back out, reutilize what is the value of those Neon abilities, that slide back into position.
I wonder what happened on short. Like, either the KO flash blinded the whole team, or actually, or everyone's trolling. I think the flash must have blinded everyone. Kayak double smoked himself, so I assume he was still blind and just panic smoked. And nobody followed up onto Koshmaris. I mean, that short fight is a real head scratcher, and that is where they lost the round. So I think that's somewhere that we'll certainly see them try to fix whatever happened, and my assumption is it was the flash.
They get hit by the paranoia. Flash through, and he's already
back.
gone.
Okay, that was it. That was enough.
Oh, that's disgusting, though. Sivov, because I saw Koshmaris low,
wow,
but I was just like, I don't know how he's not ended up dying there, but yeah. The power of the judge. 2-2. The 2 guns saved as well for Fnatic, is all they have for this round. The rest on classics. Kayak has invested at least a little bit into some light shields, just to make sure that if they do drop a gun, or maybe if he can get an orb or 2. This time the wall is placed a little bit shallower, so evidently that was a mistake.
Yeah, I'm not sure we needed to see a second wall to figure that one out, Tom.
It's good to know. It's good to know. He's made the adaptation.
Well, he had a battle. 3 players pushed up, saw the wall, backed out. No longer wanting that smoke. It's a good thing, too. They found themselves still in main. The firing squad wouldn't be there to welcome the pistols in. Now 2 rifles still in play for Fnatic. A chance for damage, but the main thing about this round will be exactly that. It's not victory. Take a look at the credits for Heretics. They are getting a little bit out of control. They are stacked pretty high. And this is the point where, you know, if you can find a few kills, great. But then you think about it on the other side. Look at the credits for Fnatic. They're decent on the top half of the board, but 2 players could use a weapon. And you got 2 weapons. So a choice to be made. And, well, it seems like the choice is simply to carry these forward to the next.
I do like the way that we're seeing Heretics actually play B,
10
though.
seconds left.
A lot of it is you get aggressive B main control. You deny anybody swinging into it without at least throwing some utility, like a pop flash, paranoia. You know that someone's going to have to re-clear it. And then you give that space up and you go back to fight mid because you know that's the other angle they're going to try and claim. It's something they're doing consistently. It's like, okay, we battle this together, then we move and battle this together. And it means that for the player that swings in, it's very difficult to find which angle you need to be holding because there's normally multiple players. And they've been able to win that fight in the majority.
The guys that see 10 seconds left and think, oh, we should leave spawn, I suppose. For them to be up in the pace, I think it does show this big pull from the meta to be faster. Fnatic adapting to that challenge has been fun to see. Getting a bit more flair out of them, a bit less defaulty play. Oh, no noise made. It seems Koshmaris is very willing to fill in that space, but Fnatic thinking about the re-clear in mid with utility. That's perfect.
Oh, the flash is good, but there's nobody to react off it. He's going to try and use his wall to escape, but he waits a little bit.
Nice.
He knows they're going to spam back towards mid. Smart stuff, an attempted pot shot through the smoke, but that's already Alfia down. That means that you've lost your B main control. It means you've lost your lurk. And in theory, it means that Fnatic now need to firstly re-clear all of the angles they could have potentially lost, but also just group up and try and hit somewhere together because eventually you're going to lose more and more control.
And it's as Fnatic go to explore other parts of the map, you know, and realizing that they're losing that fight in B main again and again, that the space is being taken by Heretics, that they're going back to fight mid. But this time, Cypher's there, Cam in main. That's the extent of the plan from Heretics. They were looking for fights on A.
Left.
They were looking for fights on mid, and Fnatic unwittingly just played into the
30
hand.
seconds. They're only just making their move towards that mid position. All of the Cypher utility still there. Bose has been spotted on the other side of the map. It does kind of sell at least a little bit of a ruse, but now he's been executed, and they were starting to run back. They were starting to go towards where Boaster is, and they just had to give this up. This is the old Fnatic. You talked about the time just moments ago, like, oh, they're going much quicker getting in for plants. No, they have run out of time off of just being caught early and then almost scurrying around to try and fix everything.
That timing is surreal. So it's like I knew that was coming.
Hey, don't talk about curses, you'll get blocked as well.
But it is interesting here, and I think Heretics did a great job by setting this expectation of how they were going to play. Then they decided to send a single player to the B site to play Turtle with the camera for early, I mean, I say early information. I mean, bro, I'm talking about here in main, it's hardly early. But some information ahead of the first peak, and then traps waiting on the site. Fnatic are playing, saying, sure, you guys take B main, we'll take the space you're not fighting for. And they find out the hard way that this round they were fighting for it.
Didn't last very long. This time the cam is gone within the first 10 seconds. A faster pace. Looking to be picked up. Boaster just trying to sell a bit of a ruse on the other side of the map, of course. I can't hesitate to say the importance of this map for either side. The loser is out. For Benji, for Boaster, the chance to play a Masters London, other than in a show match, is gone. And already, they're going to start that execution.
Oh, those shots through the smoke. He knew Woot was going to walk in off the cloudburst, but that damage done, that could come back to haunt Woot now as the round ticks on. 3 players have made it to the site, though. Fnatic have to make a choice. They heard the tunnel smokes go up, that allow those players to retake back through, but going back is no longer an option. The op has been seen now, and Fnatic are the ones boxed in, surrounded by the defensive side, with no retreat.
30 seconds left.
But seemingly no will to press forward, barely any utility. A reveal back online now. A nade from Seavoff, but it's about the best that they can hope for on the other side. Paranoia sent through, a problem as time keeps ticking. 14 seconds left. Where is the fast Fnatic we spoke about? They're down to the very last tick of the clock, and they will fall before the timer hits 0. 5 now for Team Heretics, and the question is, with what we're seeing in these last 2 rounds, have Fnatic lost their way?
Yeah, that looked messy. I think especially the moment that was damning was this. They had known there was a player behind. He literally went, baited the wall out, and then fell back. Unless you thought he'd completely given up all control and just left, which, why would he do that? Then that's just Alfia walking to his doom. And then the rest of the players on the Heretics know they're still there. They know they're all still locked into that position because they can't have pushed anywhere else. They made that so easy for Team Heretics. And for Fnatic, we are really starting to get towards panic stations. This is a team that, okay, we give them the kickoff curse. Every year we go kickoff, maybe you don't make it. But 2 in a row, them not making an international event, them not making their home event, that would be a shock.
A shock to the system delivered. Seavoff down and out. Kayak could be in the same boat. The blades refresh, but it's Koshmaris quicker on the trigger. It's the finger guns firing on all cylinders. He's going out for his 5th and final 6-2 with an ace from Koshmaris.
What a time to pull out an ace. You've just trapped them, shut them down, as if it wasn't bad enough. You come in as a man who only joined midway through this stage. At the time, it almost seemed like panic stations. A man that was literally brought in because they said they had problems. A player that said he didn't want to stay. They took a gamble. Week 1, it looked rough, and now he's acing Fnatic to give them a 6-2 lead in a map that would eliminate the EMEA #1.
Hey, maybe Neon's not dead. Not in the hands of Koshmaris, that's for sure.
It looks very much alive.
It does, even with the nerfs coming. We'll see the kind of impact that it has. In all seriousness, that agent is a nightmare. And Fnatic decided to come in today not arming themselves with it. Perhaps they will live to regret it. This, I would say, Ascent comp of old, but you know, you have Vice in there as well. But it is an El Clasico feel to it. Trying to bring us back to the old days when Fnatic still sat on a throne, when they were the undisputed, the EMEA team. That has changed. Heretics held that mantle more recently than Fnatic did, and now a chance to stomp them out. They've done it on big stages. The business looked dominant up until now. The tide seemed to turn as Woot falls with 1. It's Benji and Kosh. But remember, Kosh aced the last one.
It's funny, he would have actually died to that trip. Had to make sure he shot it.
Spike planted.
They need to clear Alpha here. And he has no reason to fight, no reason to peek until that moment, until he hears that door being broken.
Careful here.
That's his time to strike. Oh, a little bit given. Shot in the foot, wouldn't kill him out, and already Benji is dropped. The next one comes for free. An important response from Fnatic.
I'm smiling.
An additional round added to their tally, and it needs to be the start of something, because the last couple of rounds before that, they were very dominant indeed.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've seen this a few times where like one round is found, a couple of good kills, couple ultis, whatever it is, and then we go right back to winning ways for Heretics.
You can't see my face.
That can't be the case here.
And let's go, boys. Run by run. Go 6-6, guys.
Round by round, I think that is how we've been looking at it. There you go, Kosh Maris' first ace in VCT EMEA. What a time to do it as well.
He's only been here about 5 weeks. And honestly, it's still surprising that's his first. With how good he's been over the last 4 weeks especially, it is surprising. He's in middle again. He's got a little bit lost in the source, but it's fine. Not in too dangerous position, and it's looking like they're setting up for a crunch in mid. Heretics have 4 players around this angle. They've surrendered A control, but I think with the realization that the drone is coming through on that side of the map, they can't afford to give it up. Even still though, the knife going through on B, left split, and that's a huge kill for Sivov. Takes a bit of a risk, pop flashes himself in, a bit of a confidence play, but again, there's the response with the op.
He's been so good, man. He really has. Thinking about his performance when he first came in to now, night and day. A dark night on the horizon for Team Heretics. If they lose this, Fnatic back to their old ways, the winning streak.
Ooh.
Only on 3 for now, but could still be even at the half. Battle of the spams up top. A risky one to play in, with the reveals about to come through. Now the real danger, they've got to run. It buys more time, and Rienz has fallen. Crashies had the angle, and now Kosh. Surely, that's already done. He tries to make something of it, but in the end, it's another round for Fnatic. 6-4, the gap down to 2, and there's a reason we never count Fnatic out.
Yeah, it was a 6-2, 6 rounds in a row. I was starting to get a little bit nervous, but you are beginning to see a couple of those confidence plays. I think especially the one from Sivov is the main takeaway for me. He clears B main alone, pop flash to get rid of Wu.
Half, Fnatic on the attack, but finding some momentum. And normally, you look at the past, it doesn't go too well for the team on the other side, but Heretics, they've been consistent, and most importantly, Kosh Maris. That op in the early round has been a nightmare for these attackers.
Yeah, it's something, even with the double initiator, they're having to be so careful of. And he hasn't really been caught by any of the KO util, because he's mostly been playing around mid. The drone's also been used to clear over towards A, so a lot of the time it's just been someone having to try and body check his position. Again though, diligent stuff from Fnatic. They are not shying away from those same metrics they've been throwing out throughout the round. Just clearing all of these close angles, trying to remove the risks of this double duelist. Even still though, this time they've been given nothing. Heretics aren't fighting aggressively. They're not facing forward. They got caught, Wu, in B main last round. He's not fighting at all. He's sitting back with the rest of the team, and Fnatic have spent over a minute just feeling out the map.
Fnatic playing slow. We thought we'd left it in the past, but of course not. Old comps bring back old ways. Kosh Maris up close on the reload of the shotgun. He'll be caught by Kayak. The double now. Oh. It's Woot that has to answer back, but his blade's taken away. The Sheriff not ready for the fight that was to come, and Kayak wins the battle on backside. The spike needs to be picked up and planted.
10 seconds left.
No stress, 10 seconds is plenty of time. But Benji and Rienz need the retake. That's a huge, that is a massive pick for Benji.
He's given them an opportunity. They'll know where both of these players are. Look to try and clear out both a complete reposition. holding himself below, but then swings back out to try and fight with his teammate. Just wanted to give them a little bit more space and advantage with the smoke, not allowing the double swing to come through from the Heretics players. It makes this incredibly awkward. Even still, they look to group up, and Boaster has done well and then moved away to help out Seavoff. That smoke was perfect to make things so uncomfortable for Heretics. And right back up to 5 they are. As said, never count them out.
And this is the problem for Heretics, right? You put all your eggs in one basket like that, and it just hurts so much more when you do fall. Now, Fnatic, they should be able to bring this back to neck and neck, to even at the half.
Let's go!
But the weaknesses on the other side made up for with the advantages of this composition. A judge in play for Koshmaris, and well, he's been good with the op. But he has been great with the judge as well, so there's no counting him out. The attacker's slow with a default, and I do feel like this is risky if they go walking up on short with the smoke in play. They know better, especially looking at the opponent's economy. It's not the round to take those kind of risks. They go to mid instead.
See, now normally, Crashies will have cleared Woot's position, but because he ends up tagging Boo, that spot has gone amiss. Because of that, Woot is going to look to try and reclaim some of that space. As you said, they're missing a few pieces here and there, and they're going to try and pad that with aggression. He has been shut down at least a bit. And for the attacking side, again, they're posturing around middle, but they've got to be careful. A push up into Koshmaris, it's a 1v1 that, if this corner was rounded, would be troublesome. Instead, though, Alfie has sent the ult in on that B site. And although Benji will be able to keep his gun, this seems like a ruse. The problem is the angle's not been checked. And Koshmaris is just waiting to see if there's anyone more. Now he goes hunting. Paranoia actually catches him, but now Wu also springs into action.
Oh, they go to the other side, the B site where they've had this stack up. They'll spot one. They'll know he's towards the back, but Benji's up close. Now, Rien's the stretch! Never mind! He's eaten them alive! An end zone flawless for the man that was supposed to draw their eyes, not take them out, pluck them from their skulls. Unbelievable.
Oh, it's an insane way to close out the half. Either way, Ascent has been quite a popular map this week. Let's see if you've been paying attention in our halftime quiz.
Nice! Yes! Kurwa!
Has been said in the past, this squad, they're not too good at kickoff. They're actually kind of suck at it. But they always bounce back, Tom, and they always make it right in stage one, never missing 2 international events. Well, Heretics could be the ones to make that first time come true for Fnatic. Already, Heretics making it to the A site, full control, and a plan found.
Yeah, this is the first pistol that was won by Fnatic. Now can they add another to the tally? An aggressive fight back. Kayak's done well at least, and the plant's still yet to go down. Maybe trying to bait a couple of players in with the initial tap, and the door has already been broken. Crashies has taken a lot of damage, so at least initially was a bit more passive. Maybe now wants to be the guy to almost set the bait, give an opportunity. And you can see that Alfie is still worried that somebody's going to be coming in on that flank, coming in from behind. And with a trip in front and a smoke now in the way, he's got to be careful he doesn't get caught on the way in.
Not much in terms of utility. It's going to be raw aim fights with all those big guns invested into, and the Sheriff and the Ghost, they find damage. Alpha left alone now. Time ticking. Ringa Rosie in play, but Alpha always wins. It's a round much needed by Fnatic and secured by Alpha.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've talked about the value of the pistol rounds, but to be honest, in this series, it almost seems like that isn't much of the case. I go back to Fracture. It was Heretics winning both, not being able to take the map over the line. And in this map, Fnatic have now got both. And that will just bring them level. That will put us even going into this second half.
Come on! Hey!
As you can see, they know how important this one is. History of Fnatic, always making that second and third international event. But more importantly, the best team of 2024 in Team Heretics in EMEA versus the best team from EMEA in 2025 in the form of Fnatic. One of them is going to be having an incredibly poor 2026, at least for the first couple of events. The other still has a chance to make it to Masters London. But there can only be one.
Shouldn't be decided in a round like this. This is where we go back neck and neck, but an investment as Woot goes down to 300 credits for a classic. Because of course he's given the weapon over to Koshmaris. No surprise when we see how that off play has been working out.
Careful here.
Benji baiting the cross on mid, wants them to start looking back in the other direction.
There.
Pull attention away from, well, the spot on the map with a million pings. We know where Heretics are about to force the issue. The first man to hold the cross, Sivov, he's had some rougher rounds, but it felt like he found his form towards the end. The last map, the nade to cut them off, but so many have made it through already, and we are just waiting for Koshmaris to get the opportunity to land a shot with the Outlaw, the Paranoia. It delayed him, it cost him some time, but now Heretics are on site. The plant is even coming in, and to be honest, this is much scarier when you have to retake into those players.
Yeah, it gives opportunities for that Outlaw. It gives the Classic so many more angles, although it definitely seems like Crashes is maybe a little bit too aware, but then he gets punished.
Careful here.
That's where the Outlaw has finally been noted. A first kill up. Time now ticking in their favor, but they've cleared him. And now the rest of the weapons shouldn't be anywhere near as problematic. Boo will fall out the air with 4. And sure, it's a little bit of additional damage, but Fnatic deal with that well.
Couple times now, it's been Alpha to really pull out the rounds when needed the most. We've seen it in this map. We've certainly seen it in the last 2 as well. Thinking about the 1v1 that gave them something to play with on Lotus.
Mate, we've seen it for years. Well, where have you been?
Exactly. And a big moment for him to step up as well. We certainly didn't see it throughout the entirety of last map. There were, it was a round or 2. We said that 1v1 was nice, the double with the Sheriff, and he finished on 5 kills. Different story this time around, much to the chagrin of Heretics fans out there. We're neck and neck, rifles up for both sides, but Fnatic have got credits to fall back on despite a few weaknesses here. Still a good chance to brawl. Whereas for Heretics, this will be the lead and the momentum into the hands of Fnatic if they lose it.
Oh yeah, Vice has been called the undoing of Neon in the past. The Thorns doing a fair amount of damage in the wall, potentially leaving that player isolated. So it's no surprise that when knowing what comp will be run by Heretics, why they wanted that Vice. And this is definitely where you expect the most damage to be done. I also think for KO, that defensive side knife can be a real irritation. But of course now, with how long it takes to come back online, for Sivov, it really is going to be all about timing. He needs to be bang on as when he denies them their utility.
"35 seconds, Heretics taking a leaf out of Fnatic spoke, but going a little bit quicker with it. That might slow them down though. Steel Garden put into play. And now as they make their way out to site, it's with 25 seconds left. The swing in from Alpha, nothing found. Paranoia back in return as Sivov's now surrounded and soon to be dealt with. You'd imagine. Finally falls. And although he did far more than his share of the work, it seems there's still too much left to be done. Kayak needs a barn burner of a round, and instead it's Rien's to meet that.
That's one of the scarier things. Rien's has been okay so far, but if he really starts to build into this series of 4K, that back off what Althea did in the last round. Then yeah, as you said, Sivov, considering he only had a ghost at the back of the site, does incredible work. Unfortunately, the players with the rifles, not so much. Even still, an investment back in, Boaster with the Judge, but it allows for an operator in the hands of Kayak. Bear in mind, no shield, so any tickle damage could be the death of him. And an early take of B main, but I'm going to assume that's more for the orb than much else. Okay, the swinging from Koshmaris, that's an easy pickup for Althea.
A little ahead of the curve on that one. In a round like this where your credits are on the line, That's like finding gold dust.
I assume he thought that he was going to be further back, maybe playing off the wall with a flash. So he's like, okay, I can bait the wall and go back, and then you swing out and you're just dead.
I mean, it is one of the risks of being a Neon player up against that wall. Sometimes you got to do it. Just hope he doesn't hit the shot, hope he's not in the position. And, well, unfortunately, that gamble has not paid off.
Don't use hope versus Althea. This is not a good idea.
It's the first thing he takes away. Now, Heretics, they've grouped up as 4, move towards A main. They're ahead of the smoke and everything, but walking in, there should be a price to pay.
Okay.
But Kayak misses the shot. It's uncharacteristic. We've seen a few in this series. Perhaps the pressure is getting to them. In goes the paranoia. The Hunter's Fury lands the tag, and the kill is easy on the back of it. Same can be said for Zevov. Yeah. The advantage sits still with Heretics. Crashies. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble now. He's decided to go wide. That's a crazy play. And, well, he gets the predictable result.
He went for the surprise factor. Well, for Alpha, yeah, nothing but frustration, it seems, to end this round.
Did you see him while he was peeking out towards the door? He wiped his forehead with his mouse in hand.
Yep. But you can't walk if you use your other hand.
That'd be fine. Hide it behind the wall. If he got killed in that moment, that would be beautiful. A replay that I'd cherish for the rest of my life. But yeah, unlucky. I always do. I'm a big eye scratcher in those moments. I'm like, oh, they're about to push. Oh, my nose is itchy though.
Oh,
it's awkward.
9-7. And yeah, as you said, there have been moments in this series where Kayak has missed shots I expect him to hit. Like, if that smoke goes down and he's not watching the angle, fair enough. But it's that he misses the shot while watching exactly where they're going to be, and that means he's dead to rights. Like, that spams through. It's like shooting a cardboard. Like, that's not a difficult kill for them to find. Amar, correct me if I'm wrong as well, was that the kill that gave Rians the Hunter's Fury? So I think that even then ends up killing the next teammate as well, because he's got that ultimate online. So the dominoes definitely fell from that moment. The defensive side might be the favored, but with this double duelist and more so with Heretics in this kind of form, I'm waiting to see Fnatic turn up. Because they've had the start in both halves. You don't have that excuse anymore like you did on the first map where you had to have the comeback because you didn't get either of the pistols. No, in fact, you have got them, and you're still behind.
Too suppressed.
But I mean, every round here feels like an independent event. If you try to use the last one to figure out what's happening in the next, it's a fool's errand. It's been chaos. Fnatic, though, I feel pretty confident saying shouldn't be doing too much right here, right now. The pistols in play across the board. They'll use their numbers to their advantage. A risky play by Alpha, using the one rifle they have, tucked up in mid. It's a good idea, but it's not going to have any reward to it. We can see that Heretics are all in A main, ready to burst out. And we talked about the numbers advantage with the pistols. They're playing together. The paranoia's good, but the shots from Boaster are not so hot. That is going to be a 10 for Heretics. I'm confident in saying Alpha and Crashies with it all to do, with 5 players up against them, 1 rifle between them. One thing I'll say is they've got time on their side. It's only planted now, but big mistakes needed from Heretics. And honestly, if they lose this one, we've got to pause right after.
Well, yeah, and they haven't been aggressive in their post plants. They've been passive. They've been sitting back. Look at them with their crossfire angles. A nice shot for one. Benji was just looking to try and trade, but because of that, he's given them another angle. The remaining players, though, falling back. They know exactly where Boo is, and Alfie has killed him off as well. The danger in this round has got higher and higher. No ultimates to play with, and now Alfia is remaining versus 1. Him against Riens, the 2 raid bosses of these teams. Turkish excellence versus Turkish excellence! And you better not come at the king! Alfia has brought them a lifeline with the Emoda Thrifty.
Just when it looked like the dynasty was dead, my God, Alfia! An Emoda Thrifty and some unbelievable shots. We said it. You said it, Tom. He's been doing it for years. Certainly. In this series, he's had his moments, but none quite like this. I said if Heretics lose that round, there's going to be a pause. There's a pause, but it's from Fnatic. Yeah, he really chose his moment, didn't he? The Heretics, no doubt, writing their own stories in their head. Imagining the lights down on that stage in London, the British crowd behind them, but green that Benji's gonna have to wait for. 9-8, 1 round between them. The long pause has ended. The bloodbath will ensue. Kayak, the first to find a kill as Benji falls on the other side, but Fnatic, they don't give up on the back of that. They've got the advantage, but they're pushing forward. Alpha's taking a risk, and he spotted Woot and immediately ran for the hills. Wants nothing to do with that Blade Storm, and rightfully so.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to take the risk. Kayak, we mentioned it, a few misses here and there, but was clinical at the start of this round. And this now becomes a recovery. Bear in mind, this is a hefty investment. Okay, maybe not everybody has a weapon, but putting that Blade Storm in. And with 40 seconds left, it still feels like Heretics haven't really found a direction. And even the ground that they have taken or forced their opponents back off is slowly being reclaimed once again. Left. Kayak is very well placed. A pot shot not going to land, but there's still a couple of players here.
Dodging that knife is key. Now the Blade Storm's still online, but Alpha's dropped through. We're losing players by the second for Team Heretics, and with 12 seconds left, they have got to press forward through the numbers, and it's not gonna work. Not with Alpha standing guard! A 4-piece pickup, and Fnatic are neck and neck.
My man is dragging this team, kicking and screaming through this game. 22-9. And it just like, this was his sight. He gets dinked early. For the rest of the round, he has 74 HP. And guess what? He ends with 74 HP because nobody even got an opportunity to shoot at him. Scoreline equalized. The chance of Heretics running away with this seemingly fading.
Come on, bro. What are we doing?
Well, there you go.
Exactly what he deserved. Exactly what he deserved.
He did it on the last map, and it was an unreal way to close it.
The Ares looks good at times on Lotus, especially defense side towards A main, but
that's already 9 kills in 3 rounds for Althea, by the way. And they're about to try and push into him once again. They've dived on him, but he survives! The man is unkillable! Just don't even look in his direction, because your head is going to be torn off. Could this be 3 4Ks in a row? Not quite. He'll go down to the Ares. But even still, find out where Althea is and go the other way.
This is getting ridiculous now. The man is called on, talked about, and he shows up on a level that, geez, I don't know when I saw this Alpha last. He looks driven, motivated, and we talk about Fnatic. They've never missed 2 international events, and this is elimination right behind them, lurking, waiting to drag them into an early off-season. And that's when they're most dangerous, man. When the numbers are against them, when the stakes are great and the odds are not in their favor, it feels like every time Fnatic find their way. And here, once again, it seemed like they'd fallen, like they wouldn't get up, like Heretics would walk all over them. And now they stand in the lead. They loom over Heretics. An elimination feels all too real with this man on the server. It's a timeout from Heretics.
They feel it.
The last timeout of regulation.
Bro, he's got 11 kills in 3 rounds. Like, what do you even do? Like, jokes
underneath. The trade can't come in that quickly because, you know, duelists can move pretty quickly, especially these duelists. But they got there when they should. I think the exec went okay. He's just genuinely, as Crashy said, Alpha's too good. And it usually feels like with players, you get 1 or 2 of those rounds. You know, like there's a timer. How many more rounds can he keep this up for? And it always feels like there's a hard limit. I've never seen Alpha have that limit.
No. If anything, the more he does it, the more I think he's going to keep doing it. Oh, again, Kayak's been dealt with. Hunter's Fury being expended. Sivov, he's going to try and flash into it. He's been domed, but there will still be a trade back off the Hunter's Fury. Althea now in position. That's all it really feels to matter about this stage, and they are going the other way. Now, he did manage to retake
I know exactly
before.
where you are.
And he's going to go pushing up. A dangerous battle to take while being revealed, but instead now they start running back in the other direction. An opportunity for Crashies, but they know he's here. They have an idea, at least, of his position over the last few seconds. The TP back in the other direction, but they've heard everything. They know everything other than one piece of information. Paranoia, and he's going to get out of there. Managing to clear the angle. I think even maybe realizing that Wu has already crossed. Brought things back into a 3 versus 3. Here's the TP, and goes looking. It's time, though. Boo will be able to escape, but there's still a player within the site they need to deal with, and they have done. But even still, it's only at a trade.
Oster's got his, and Alpha's
planted.
looking for his own. A wrap around the back, but Boo catches him just in time. Now Crashies has to carry that mantle forward, and he will! Crashies the closer, he's got them 11. Fnatic, they have no shortage of heroes on this team, and a Red Bull clutch puts them within reaching distance of eliminating Team Heretics.
4 rounds ago, we were telling the exact opposite story. We were talking of Heretics ruining Fnatic's day. The chance for the UK org with Poster at the helm being denied their opportunity to play at Masters London. Now Benji might be getting that taste instead, because as you said, it's now Crashies waking up. He's seen the Alpha Year carry and decided to add his piece. 11-9, 2 rounds needed for the comeback to once again be complete.
For a long time, we spoke about Fnatic as the kings of EMEA, and even with a good year in the previous, never felt like they had that title back. They lost that throne a long time ago, and this series victory, it could be 13-0s back-to-back. It wouldn't reclaim that title for them. They're definitely a contender. They look like they could be the best in the region, but there was a time when there was no goods. We knew what they were capable of, and they showed it to us almost every week. They lost that throne, but that drive is still there. You heard it from Alpha Year. Even winning this event isn't the goal, it's champions. But one step at a time, 1 foot in front of the other. Fnatic on the defense, 12 within reach, and an easy round in front of them, or at least it should be.
Oh, there goes that Ares once again.
30 seconds left.
Pressure being put onto the B site. Kayak's already managed to deal with the fake, and Alpha Year waiting, but he's been dealt with. Nice shot from Benji. Crashies in that back corner and just managing to spam one out. The reveal is perfect. They're being trapped in slowly, but even still, while being surrounded, the Heretics are fighting back. Plant looking to come in. Sivov maybe hoping to deny it, but won't be able to, but he's got a lot further than expected. A chance to maybe put a clutch of his own! Another, and another, and another, and another! Every member of this Fnatic squad are stepping up to the plate.
Oh, it's a full house for Fnatic tonight. Oh my God, they are playing with a full deck and then some. 12-9, and almost every round is a clutch. A big play even here for Crashies. The reveal, and to follow up on it, it gave them the numbers that were so clearly needed. On their feet again as Heretics.
Let's go!
Who are head and shoulders above the rest. Now they find themselves behind 3 chances for Fnatic to keep this run going. No, they won't be in London with a victory here, but they won't be out. And for God's sake, that's enough.
Set themselves with an opportunity. Kayak in position, 1 falls, a second as well. Rien's hoping to fight back, but counter utility keeping them in their place for now. The rotation already in from the remaining 2, looking to try and lock them in on that flank, not allowing them a way out, but Rien's is not giving up without a fight. Boaster trapped, isolated against nothing. It's Rien's again. Bruised, beaten, but not out just yet. But even still, Althea and Crashies have already saved multiple rounds. Althea with one, but Rienz really needs to do it all. An ace or bust. Crashies will tag him up, knows exactly where he is, but Rienz is not giving up just yet.
An ace is what it takes for Heretics to survive.
To win one round, to win one of the last 6.
A game of clutches so far when it comes to Ascent. Narrow margins from the get-go. And a 1v1 with one man needing to take the whole team for his side to survive. But that question of survival not answered yet. There are 2 more in a row for Heretics. They want to settle this in overtime. But first, they have to survive regulation.
Deploying drone.
There really is something about Turkish players, isn't there?
Been saying that for a while, Tom.
All I'm going to say is that Turkish qualifier next year is going to be an absolute bloodbath.
There's going to be a lot of Turkish players finding out that they're German all of a sudden.
12 to 10.
Shot dark.
The economy
Caged.
slipping for Fnatic. The ultimate's definitely in their favor. A kill or 2 could completely turn this round. Instead, though, the ace, well, guess what? That gave an ultimate to the other side, and this time the entries are found. But guess who's left? Guess who's fighting? Althea trying to do it all. Boaster's now joined in weaponry, about to be removed, and he's still holding the line. Woot with the shorty, but he's run out of bullets, and now it's left to Rienz again. An ace in the last round, a clutch needed in this one.
This was what we were looking to see today. The kings of our region, and now Rienz has to find both. 2 big players for Kayak, the heavy hitter, not on the site. Boaster's hiding behind a smoke, but the time's ticking, and now Rienz isolates at 20 seconds, and he won't run away! The plant on A was free, but the Red Bull clutch on B was his.
Those guys from Foot right now are just sat there at home going, see, I told you, this is what it's like. This is the guy you have to be careful of, but again, like what Althea is able to do at the back of that site just shouldn't be allowed. His teammates get cleared within a second. And it really does seem to be the battle
Chill, please.
of the guy. He is telling them to chill after he wins a 1v2 to keep them in the tournament, to keep them in with a chance of Masters London. 29 kills for Althea, by the way. And now with a weaker buy for either side. It's either now or it's OT.
Said last time it was a barn burner of a game, and Heretics showed that they could play that same game, make those comebacks happen.
Where did he dive from? Was
Well,
that
boom.
spam through the wall?
It was either on top of the wall or through it, and I see a bullet hole in it. Yep, straight through the wall, taking them
That's
down.
insane.
Hell of a start for Boo. Oh, and what a shot by Benji. Crashy's caught on the shoulder peak, and now they know exactly where this defensive side is, and they run into the numbers.
What? They don't. They started to rotate away. They thought they'd be going in the other direction, and now up close, pop flash in, but there's a judge on the other side trying to clear Koshmara as well. He is pit, and not anything more. Leaves Althea. It will be the best of the lot. Too much to ask. An unfair question to even think about. And Rienz waiting patiently on the other side. 15 HP means that, well, it was over before it even began, but somehow with Althea, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt, not this time. Somehow, well, I know so, it's Rienz. Rienz has managed to bring them home, bring them to OT. This will go the difference. The next couple of rounds will decide who is still alive in this tournament.
Well, regulation.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
Regulation's over with a British heartbeat on both sides. The British heartbeat on the bottom of both sides. This is the story of everyone else down there today.
I can understand. I will kiss you, bruv. Might be the most British thing I've heard today.
Ren's ace 3 rounds ago was his 3rd in VCT EMEA. That's a surprise. That's genuinely shocking. He's only had 3.
Yeah, but I reckon he's had loads of 1v4s.
104 Ks, yeah. Well, here we go. Overtime in effect. One team's run ending here in the next couple of rounds. It's all on the line. Their learnings over the past hour of how Ascent is played. Apparently it's a lot of individual fights, a lot of clutches.
Enemy tag.
This is where they apply those learnings. A very slow play by Fnatic, pressure towards the right side of the map over on A, but we're seeing Alpha playing ahead of his wall, looking for that bit of aggression. They are trying to lure Team Heretics into some over-aggression, but to Heretics' credit, that doesn't seem to be something that they've been doing a lot.
No.
Fnatic's defense had a lot of aggression, and sometimes Heretics in B main.
But they learned from it. The
stopped.
later rounds in their defense, they started getting really passive because they knew how long Fnatic would take.
Yep.
And they start using the time to their advantage as basically as a sixth man, because Fnatic will sometimes just punish themselves.
Well, Woot will be sent back. Koshmaris has made the investment into an operator. He won't have shields to work with, but he's in the right spot towards A. Two teammates defending in front of him, though, holding ahead of the defensive line. Kayak with one hell of a shot. And now the hop, well, he's stuck behind a box. What move is he gonna make? Tries to slide away, but Kayak's there to catch him. And Boaster, quick on the trade. Stops Boo with just the one.
What?
Well, Alpha, of all the shots he's hit, I didn't expect that to be the one he misses.
Again, 30th kill, not coming just yet. 29 is where he'll stick. And reliance on his teammates. Benji and Rians to try and fight versus 3. Benji, he might have caught timing here. Look how locked in Kayak is. He's so locked in, he doesn't even realize that somebody's rounding this corner. He might just be about to lose his life to absolutely nothing. Rian's only just making it to the scene, but he needs to do everything once again, and not this time. Crashes with 2, Fnatic with 13, and another chance to keep them alive.
Map series and stage point for Team Heretics, facing into the end of their run. They've made it far. They had to make changes, but hell, both these teams have been in that very same boat. Fnatic most recently.
I love it so much.
The winning ways rarely evade them outside of kickoffs. We said they've never missed out on 2 international events in a row, and now today, there was a chance that we would see that happen, but Destiny and their fate is in their own hands now. 1 round away from the run continuing.
Oh, Boaster's got to be careful. 11 health to start the round. And I'll be honest, a lot of utility expended off the back of it. Alfia had to pop the vines just to make sure that if there was a rundown on his IGL, they wouldn't be able to get there without taking a hell of a lot of damage. A smoke all the way to the other side of the map. This is just a ruse. They have not moved. They are staying in the same position. And Benji, he shoots that to try and let them know that they're around that position. Instead, though, the A site has been claimed. Fnatic will fall into the retake.
Yeah, and because that reveal was broken in mid, as you said, by Benji, they're sending players out to confirm there's no one there. It draws their eye away. It stops the spams that could have come through. Instead, a cautious Fnatic, even now, cautious of the flank, but seeing nothing. Yet the timing in mid will be so important. They've seen each other. Alpha caught Benji. Benji was waiting just a few seconds more and he had the flank of the game, but instead now it's an advantage to the defensive side. A failed usage of the paranoia. It means less to work with to slow them down. In fact, no utility. All that they've got is the brawn alongside the shorty up close from Woot. Brienne's as well. Hold on, they're making it work on the site. They had no utility. The numbers against them, but the time ticking in their favor now. 13-13, the overtimes. They keep on going.
Yeah, they took so much damage on their way into the site. I think that was spams by Riens. He sees the smoke dropping, knows that he's about to get crunched on, and just starts spamming. Well, even gets a kill. You see, assist, kill, and then a kill at the end. That's just blind spray, knowing his angles, doing damage once more. I think it was even Kayak with 1 HP as he entered the site. I think the belief was created by the first one, and then he had 2 more rounds, then Crashies had a round, then Seavoff had a round. It was like that was just the momentum building, and it took then Heretics having a moment of their own, an ace from Riens to break that momentum. It feels like we're back level again, back with the scales perfectly balanced. And back with either side needing just 2 rounds in a row to make or break their London experience. And make or break their year. 2 internationals missed for either of these teams is a failure. And it's a standard that is only held to very, very few.
Oh, damage. Lots of damage. And Koshmaris with the wall bang onto Boaster to Odin in effect. To great effect, apparently. They know there was a spam in main. Fnatic know that someone was around line, but Woot! How is he still alive? And Crashy's tagged up from their battle earlier is in a lot of trouble. The spike is alone in his hands. If he falls, this round is done. And there's only 35 seconds left. A move needs to be made. Koshmaris toying with his food. We all know that fight in main is where the turning point of this round comes into play. They don't yet know on the defensive side that the spike is there, but in 20 seconds, they will be finding out. Woot swings in for Seavoff. The nade delaying the push out from Crashies. The time ticking away. There's 12 seconds left as Fnatic make it towards the site. They're catching kills across the board, but there is no time. A denial of the plant all that's needed. But Heretics have failed at that hurdle, and now Crashy's given a chance, a lifeline for Fnatic, but it's left behind.
Again, it just looked like a round that was lost the second that initial battle. You said it, like Crashy's being alone with the spike. The remaining players knew they had to wrap around and kill everyone on site just to give him a way in. A stray bullet could have ended that round. And honestly, the fact that Crashy's even manages to get the plant down is impressive.
Yeah, it is.
I thought there was no way he gets out of that alive. But this is now where the shoe is on the other foot.
Nice! Come on!
You said it. The fact that Fnatic have never missed 2 events back to back. Maybe just trying to form some disinformation once again. They did it in the last round they won. As I said, like the shooting of that dart in middle pulled the rotation away. This time that's not going to be the case. Deep control from Kayak is not something we've seen as often, and not something that has been needed to be challenged. There is still a dart available, but I don't
Revealing area.
believe, that's going to be going anywhere near him. So he's still able to hold on to that ground. This is where things get a bit dangerous. If he can pull off a big moment here, maybe the spike will be dropped in a similar way to the last.
Oh, what a moment for Kayak to fall, but Boaster and Seavoff are there. That site hold is not gone just yet, but Benji with a crucial kill. That's Alfier down and out, and although we lose Rienz on the crossback, the hero of so many rounds for Heretics, the spike is still there for the attackers. The wraparound from Boo, main gonna be held late in the round as well by that trap, but can the spike make it to the site in time? 12 seconds, and it could be caught on the cross.
Oh, tagged up. He needs to get past the wall, but the spam's not quite going to work out. And Benji, he's taken the initiative. Aggressive through. Wants to destroy the dart to try and keep his teammate alive, and he has done so. Boo holding the angle. Seavoff and Crashies to keep them in the tournament. The timing of the smoke seemed like it couldn't be worse.
One suppressed.
But they haven't managed to capitalize off the back of it. Benji's been cleared, and now all up to the leader of Boo. A 1v2 to win this one out, to get rid of Fnatic from this tournament, but the shots aren't landing until the last moment. 2 bullets remaining, and he will do it! A Red Bull clutch from Boo! The moment where Heretics go marching on, and Fnatic fail to make London.
Well, they